Hello and welcome to News Morning here on Newday on TV3. My name is Beatrice, coming up in the next few minutes. Minority raises alarm over attempts to weaken Special Prosecutor's Office as Attorney General moves to take over OSP cases after High Court ruling. Also on the program this morning, my IMF Managing Director signals up to $50 billion global emergency support as Ghana faces oil price risks amid global shocks. And much later, mobile money account of some 9,000 mobile money agents across Ghana have been blocked, causing widespread panic. All these stories and more in the next few minutes. Stay with us. My name is Beatrice. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Now, the minority in Parliament says that current legal challenges over the independence of the Office of the Special Prosecutor is indicative of a government-sponsored act to remove the office from the country's statutes. The continuous existence of the OSP is under threat after the Attorney General said that it will take steps to take over cases being handled by the OSP. Enyinam Haliga captures ongoing debate over the office of the Special Prosecutor in this report.
Pregnant with constitutional flaws, the words of the then minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, when the office of the Special Prosecutor Act was fiercely debated in Parliament before its passing. 8 years down the line, the debate of whether or not the OSP truly is independent is back on the front burner amidst questions over the government's commitment to fight corruption. The present conundrum, necessitated by a ruling of the High Court, has called into question the authority of the OSP in charging and prosecuting persons without express approval of the Attorney General. The court tasked the OSP to either seek the authorization required or the Attorney General take over all cases belonging to the OSP. Kweku Ansa Asari, a former rector of the Ghana School of Law, has been sharing his perspective on the latest development.
It's a good ruling, sound in law, and in consonance with the provisions of Article 88 of the 92 Constitution. What the High Court did yesterday was to say that since the OSP did not obtain prior authorization before embarking on certain prosecutions, it had erred, and therefore it should go back. So the High Court drew the attention of the Office of the Special Prosecutor to the existence of Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution.
While some believe this was bound to happen, others believe the present challenge directly attacks Ghana's fight against graft. Deputy Ranking Member on Parliament's Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee and Member of Parliament for Kushegu, Al-Hassan Tampuli, believes the ongoing development is a deliberate government effort to rid the country of the office.
First, we saw the leader of government business, Honorable Mahama Yerega, and the MP for Boku Central, and then the Honorable Majority Chief Whip, Honorable Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo, bring a private member's motion to the floor of Parliament seeking to abolish the office of the Special Prosecutor. Now that is a parliamentary, attack. Right. They were called to order by the President from what we were told. Then there was an attempt to use the executive. So petitions were filed, a series of them. The last time I mentioned that there were about 10 petitions. Some people argued, but there were quite many petitions. Now those also failed the test of prima facie. So they were also thrown out. Now the last leg is to use the judiciary. And this is what we are seeing.
The Attorney General's office, while the debate rages over the party of the High Court ruling, says it has no intention to disobey the order. The Deputy Attorney General, Sremsai, added the office will in the coming days take steps to give effect to the order. A position the Gushegu Member of Parliament says enforcers believe the current administration has no desire to fight corruption.
All this Attorney General has to do is to give the necessary authorization. And then we'll stop all of this, confusion that is, all over the place. But we are hearing, for instance, my very good friend, Honorable Dr. Justice Sremsai, saying that they are going almost immediately to start taking over the cases. There are two courses of action. You give the authorization or you proceed. And even with that proceeding, you need to wait because the OSP has indicated an intention to appeal that decision.
For retired Supreme Court Judge William Atuguba, the High Court's decision in the case between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General is not final and can be appealed at the Supreme Court.
The High Court decision is not final. I think there's an appeal also. They can question it in the Supreme Court. Until the Supreme Court finally determines, we can't say that it's over.
But with the latest ruling, the autonomy now faces serious legal limitations. Enyonam Haliga, TV3 News, Accra.
In a related development, the Supreme Court has granted the Attorney General 7 days to file a statement of case in a constitutional challenge that could redefine the prosecutorial authority of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Now, the Apex Court on Thursday, April 16, a chief state attorney representing the Attorney General explained that delays in filing the statement of case were due to what she described as unavoidable administrative procedures. The Supreme Court, however, questioned why no supporting affidavit had been filed alongside the request for an extension. The applicant, who is also representing himself, lawyer Noah Ephraim Tete Adamte, was absent from court. Now, despite the concerns raised, the Supreme Court granted the Attorney General 7 days to submit his legal arguments. The case, which has been pending for nearly a year, challenges the constitutional basis of the Office of the Special Prosecutor's investigative and prosecutorial powers, filed under Article 2.1 and invoking the interpretative jurisdiction of the court under Article 130. The suit raises questions about whether Parliament can vest prosecutorial authority in the Special Prosecutor when Article 88 of the Constitution reserves that power for the Attorney General. An earlier attempt by the Office of the Special Prosecutor to join the case was dismissed by the court, which held that the Attorney General is the proper party to defend the law. Some more here, and the Student Loan Trust Fund has disbursed more than 100 million cedis to support over 40,000 students for the 2025-2026 academic year as part of efforts to ease financial burdens in tertiary education. Chief Executive Officer of the Student Loan Trust Fund, Dr. Sajida Shiraj, disclosed this after a courtesy call on the Minister of Education in Accra.
The disbursement forms part of a newly introduced hybrid model designed to improve the efficiency and transparency of financial support to students across the country. Under the pilot phase of the policy, the fund is making direct payments of academic fees to selected institutions. These include colleges of education, agricultural colleges, and health training institutions. So far, more than 40,000 students have benefited, with funds paid directly to 137 tertiary institutions nationwide. An additional 10,000 students are expected to receive payments starting immediately, with projections indicating that up to 50,000 students could be covered by the end of the rollout phase. Data from the fund shows that for the current academic year, approximately 180,000 students have enrolled, while about 160,000 have successfully validated their information through the fund's online portal. The Chief Executive Officer of the Student Loan Trust Fund, Dr. Sajida Shiraz, noted that the validated students are expected to receive their financial support in the coming weeks.
40,000 that we've done more than 100 million so far. The academic fee policy, as was operationalized, was for us to disburse directly to institutions when students are seeking to access tertiary education. But because the government took the empathetic decision to reimburse last year, we are now course correcting. So this year we decided to do a dual model where we pilot the direct disbursements model and still reimburse some students.
Last year, the fund reimbursed a total of 152,000 students under its support scheme, marking a significant increase in access to tertiary education financing. The Student Loan Trust Fund says it is working to address these challenges as it scales up the program to reach more students across the country.
Now, Trade Minister Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare says the government is committed to implementing measures that support industrial growth. The minister has called for calm over the rollout of some policies encouraging industry to ensure continuous engagement with the government. The minister was speaking while touring some metal processing companies in the Tema-Free Zone's enclave to assess local capacity production in relation to the ban of the export of ferrous metals.
We will continue to bring policies that feed our industry. This will also encourage more people to site their industries here, because access to raw material is always key. Wherever you find raw material is a good place to put your industry. And so this is what the government has done. Any policy that comes will of course come with a few challenges. So we'll continue to listen to industry and see what we can do after we have implemented this. Some of the teething issues will be discussed, and then we'll find lasting solution to it. Any policy that starts and it's already 90% perfect, it's good to go. As for the 10% issues, we'll look at it and resolve. That is why I'm visiting industry that processes the non-ferrous metals. So I'm here, I'll see more, gather all the issues, and then we'll sit on a round table and resolve all. A listening government is a good government, and it's always good for industry. I thank you.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Otafor, Vincent Ekoasafwa, has accused the National Pensions Regulatory Authority of misusing pension funds, alleging that resources have been improperly spent on foreign training programs, payment of double salaries, and plans to embark on a second phase of the NPRA head office project. He says these actions point to poor spending priorities and weak governance within the authority's current leadership, and has demanded an independent review of the situation.
It has been confirmed that NPRA undertook a 2-week foreign training program at Bentley University in Boston involving 11 board members, 6 directors, and senior management staff, translating to well over 8 million Ghana cedis, excluding tuition, logistics, and incidental expenses which remain undisclosed. Reports indicate the appointment of a personal aide, reportedly a veterinary doctor, who has been elevated to the position of assistant manager. Despite the establishment of a fully fledged directorate for micro pensions, Mr. Chris Bodi-Mensah is also reported to have appointed the former CEO, the former chief executive officer of the NPRA, Kofi Anoche, as a consultant on micro pensions at a reported cost of 4 million Ghana cedis. That is the duplication of cost to the ordinary pensioner. Some 3-4 years ago, the NPRA committed a lot of money in building the first phase of the headquarters of the NPRA. And today, if you move along the N1 highway, that facility is there, uncommissioned, unused. We have a certain NPRA CEO who has also taken pensioners' money, about 700 million Ghana cedis, to go and expand that headquarters. I therefore call on His Excellency the President of the Republic, the Minister for Finance, as the current supervising minister, the Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, the Executive Secretary of CLOCSAC, the General Secretary of NAT, the General Secretary of NAGRAT, the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Corporate Trustees, the Chairperson and members of the Forum for Public Sector Pension Schemes, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, civil society organizations, and the Auditor General to take an immediate interest in these matters and ensure that the hard-earned pension contributions of the Ghanaian workers are protected from waste.
Meanwhile, the National Pensions Regulatory Authority has rejected allegations of financial impropriety, mismanagement and misapplication of pension funds, describing claims by Old Tafo NP Vincent Eko Asafwa as false and misleading. The authority refuted assertions that 15 million cedis was spent on 7 Land Cruiser vehicles, stating it owns only 2 and challenging the MP to provide evidence. It also clarified that its foreign training program is a 6-month exercise that began in January 2026 and is ongoing, not a 2-month program as claimed by the Member of Parliament. Some other news here, and International Monetary Fund says it is preparing up to $50 billion in emergency support for countries vulnerable to fresh shocks. Now, this comes on the back of countries, including Ghana's economic recovery efforts, facing renewed pressure from rising oil prices and global uncertainty.
Ghana is among economies being closely watched at the IMF World Bank spring meetings in Washington as concerns grow over the impact of higher energy prices and slowing global growth. IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva says the fund expects near-term demand for financial assistance to range between $20 and $50 billion, with several countries in sub-Saharan Africa likely to seek support.
We anticipate near-term demand for IMF financial support to range between $20 and $50 billion. This represents augmentations of some existing programs. Currently, we have 39 programs. And prospective demand for new programs from at least a dozen countries, a number of them in sub-Saharan Africa.
The IMF Managing Director says her outfit is coordinating with the World Bank and other partners to respond quickly to countries facing turbulence.
We are coordinating closely with the World Bank, with the International Energy Agency, with other partners, including at regional level, to maximize our combined response.
And that's all for News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice Elu. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do stay with us on New Day.
Hold on to it. But it's good to see you as always. Looking lovely, looking gorgeous as always.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well.
Nice.
It's a Friday. It's been a very interesting news week. A lot to talk about this week. Some of the big stories all throughout. I think the biggest possibly will be the OSP issue.
Yes.
That has come up quite strongly.
Yes.
I mean, it's got a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
You agree that's the biggest, or you think there's something else?
Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest as well. And I think that one of the other news items would be Chachi Chikate's lecture and some of the things that were said by the retired Chief Justice, the retired judge. Also, of course, we had the former Chief Justice there as well, Sofa Akufo, and a few other big shots who were equally there to share their thoughts with us. So, yes, I think it's been. I mean, the kind of week where you're overwhelmed by big stories. Yes. Yeah,
and I think we have to congratulate Chachi Chikata for the many years of legal practice and his contribution, not just to the law. I mean, he's one of those I look up to in terms of legal practice.
Oh, lovely.
I mean, I love his advocacy. I mean, you should watch him. I think a lot of you watched him in the 2012
the election petition. That was a highlight.
That is when, for many of my colleagues in school, that was when the passion
I'm telling you
of wanting to become a lawyer, the seats were sown in that particular election petition. It's his advocacy that I admire so much, the way he speaks to matters. And then for me, what was very interesting was some of the things that the people shared about him, about his own life story, and his own account of his life story as well, some of the challenges he has gone through and how far he's come. So, I mean,
and his attitude towards his own challenges. I mean, people would say that with age you get to learn a lot of things, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily heal. But for him to tell us that he didn't hold any grudges, I mean, you want to tap into that wisdom and learn from it. Yes,
absolutely. Another thing that has also come up strongly this week has to do with the issues surrounding the fuel price. I mean, it's a conversation that we virtually had for 3 successive Fridays running. I mean, we have talked about the rising global prices, what could be done. Government said, well, there's going to be some package. 0.35 or 36 pesos
for petrol.
Of petrol, and had about 2 cedis off diesel as well. If you remember our conversation last week, I said that the diesel is the main thing.
Exactly. And I'm excited that we had a bit more, because I mean, based on the analysis that we had last week, it means that it may impact the prices of some of the things we use on a daily basis, but the 2 cedis is big enough to ensure that it is not that significant to have that kind of rippling effect. I was comforted by the 2 cedis on the diesel side because I know of the implications. Yes.
I mean, on a personal level, I was not happy about the 0.36 for the petrol, but I agreed, because I had made that argument right here and here that the diesel was the most, virtually the one that impacts all of us indirectly, more than directly. So as a direct beneficiary, well, I'll say that the 3.6. But I mean, the point being made is that the government says that this is for the next 4 weeks, and that if the situation changes and there is the need for any adjustment to be done, they will do that as well.
But so you know what I find very interesting? The fact that we have reduced these stuff, but sachet and packaged water producers have, so we understand, gone ahead with increasing prices. Now, instead of 5 cedis as we were originally told, I think they are increasing it by 70%. So they've still gone ahead to increase anyway. And I find that quite interesting.
I mean, that's quite unfortunate, but we'll see how all of that plays out there. But I mean, when we started, when electric energy was playing, I told you guys that guess who's here?
Yes, Cookie.
It's unfair. I can't believe it's unfair. I can't believe that you don't try. Oh, you are playing the song because of who requested? I can't believe requested. I thought something sorry. That's what I'm saying. Okay, but I'm worried. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? I can't believe my film. You just give me high five. Oh no, high five for now. When we finish the intro, then I'll hug you properly. How are you doing?
I'm very well. I mean, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you. I know Yes, it's me and Beatrice.
Why have you guys been seeing each other at?
Or we see each other
Yes,
at work
on
phone,
Tuesday, yes.
everywhere.
No, but
Yeah.
it's been away for a bit.
Yeah, but she's been talking to me. You don't talk to me, but she talks to me. So yeah. Oh, but why have you stopped the song? Why have you stopped the song? Like, let's listen to the song. I don't know more. Yes, sir. Coco, why do you have a personal problem with me or something? So early on, I was listening to you break down the song. Now what's it TikTok on? What's on his name?
Oh, they think he's saying he's speaking some patois or something.
Okay.
But I see NBJ.
You know, the thing I don't understand about you is you are a very serious person.
Oh.
And you are a very serious lawyer. Sometimes when I talk to you during the week, you don't even have time to even reply. Because what time do you get to break down this type of music to listen and to enjoy? Explain with diagrams.
No, I have very varied desires and I listen to like a lot of different things. I listen to a lot of music actually. I listen to a lot of different music. So a lot of the time, the things that I talk about, people will be surprised. Why are you looking at me?
So let's go. Who is looking at you?
You look at me like it's like you don't expect me to
know. No, because
know.
that's how you come across.
Yeah, but
I don't expect
I'm
you to
constantly
know
proving it to you that don't look at me that way. So you should change.
You're a very bad guy.
He's actually been saying that
you are a bad boy.
Yeah.
You are a bad boy.
Oh no, I'm not a bad boy.
You are a very bad boy. He's a very bad boy.
I just
so explain the song. It was yesterday that I started listening to it.
Yeah, it's electric energy. It's electric energy. I mean, Samini starts. He says he's feeling good. He's in a good mood.
Right.
What a good day. Then he starts saying electric energy. So the energy, that's the mood he is
in. So that's the Friday energy.
It's the Friday energy.
All right. And that's the same energy I brought back in studio this morning. If you are a Telecel or MTN subscriber, then you should know that you're winning very big today. So pick up your phones right now, *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. You're going to cash out very big with us this morning. Coco, put the code on the screen for everyone. 5 of you out there winning cool 2,000 Ghana cedis this morning. How about that? So it's altogether 10,000 Ghana cedis. So 5 of you winning 2,000 Ghana cedis each. And I'm in channel. 1,000, 3,000, and 5,000.
2,000 is so bad.
No, but you. So how about 1,000, 2,000, and 5,000? So that the people who play the most will be the people to win the big amounts.
That's
Joseph,
also
it makes
not bad.
sense, right?
Makes a lot of
So
sense.
1,000, another 1,000, 2,000, and then 5,000.
Yeah.
How about that?
And
all right. So get in the game now. *439#. You are choosing option 8. Which is the MG jackpot option. Please choose option 8, MG jackpot option, so you can win big this morning. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. You look good. I think you've got a number of these pieces.
Yes,
Am I correct?
yes,
I've seen you wear.
yes,
Who
yes.
makes these ones for you?
Chic by Siva in East Lagos.
The lady who makes the bubu.
Yes, yes.
What is it called? The kaftans. Oh, okay. You look amazing.
Thank you.
But Coco says you should give her the top. You still haven't done
You
so.
have no idea what she told me. I can't say that one.
Hey, Coco, you too. You are becoming problematic. Anyway, Lauren Hoods Couture. Thank you.
Yes.
Miss Rana Mosha Tadiana. But I can't believe I said it. I said, oh, Shada and
It's beautiful.
Coco Nintadia Waje.
It's beautiful.
You like this one. I mean,
I love it.
I have Montumobo. Papa will say, Montumobo, slow down the camera.
Yeah.
Let me show the world what I'm wearing today. Bagana Momudi Cabanis.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got almost like the same neck this morning.
Okay. Lauren Hoods Couture, thank you very, very, very much. You are amazing. I love what I'm wearing. And cotton to mano, tailor. Your tailor will not be able to do it. Your designer won't be able to do it. So please, when you get your fabric, or even without the fabric, call on Lauren Hoods Couture, Lauren Hoods Couture on Instagram, and she'll get you.
And in case you can't get the fabric, you get it ready-made
from Chic by Siva.
Yes.
This is very beautiful.
Yeah. Have you seen the design she did here?
When I say who's sorry, I'm skirt in
So and then it's got
details.
It's got a pocket here.
It is a one share who na ye who style no. Joseph Akable has to deal with these two every Friday. But I'm sure you fared very well when I was.
Oh yes, I mean,
she took good care of you.
Yeah, Beatrice was amazing. She was very nice to me.
Thank you.
Unusually nice to me.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And you
Normally she's nice to me.
She had to double up on the.
Normally she's nice, but she went the extra mile.
When I was
I mean, the viewers would agree. We had a good time together.
Thank you very much for holding the fort. You received my advice very well because I told you to take good care of him. So she was extra nice because she was doing it for the two of us.
Oh.
So now you understand.
Yeah. Now you guys can just.
Loved.
All right.
You guys can now take your respective places as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So back to basics for me. And for her as well.
Yes.
So what are we talking about this morning? Should we talk about the highlights of the week? Well, so many things have happened this week.
I am telling you.
Yes. I mean, we're trying to run through it, and we just we touched on the fuel, we touched on the OSP issues, we touched on that lecture to celebrate Chachu Chikata. I mean, I think we can basically for maybe the phone-in segment, we can just open it up and share your highlights of the week with us. Just call us and talk to us about the specific story that you think made the highlight for you. There was a bit of conversation also because of the fuel in relation to whether transport fares should go up or not. That whole back and forth also took place eventually. We also understand
we heard GPRT say that they suspended that.
Well, yes, I mean, you see, the problem is that it does appear that they want to increase
of course,
it. I mean, but it seems that because of the government's initiative, they seem to be suggesting that it's only fair that they hold on a bit. So that is also another thing that we can largely look out for. So it's been I mean, a week of interesting activities as well.
And pure water sellers also the prices that the trade minister advised them to keep. It looks like some of them have increased it, and yesterday news coming in indicated that now a sachet of water is going for 70 pesos.
Yeah, I mean, one of the
going for 15 cedis.
One of the guys was telling me yesterday that some places they sell 3 for 2 cedis.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because you know the smaller coins.
That's what we talked about the other time.
They don't have it around.
It should have been 2.10, 2 CD, 10 pesos.
Yes.
But because there's no 10 pesos, they sell it for 2 CD.
So it's also to encourage you to buy 3.
Exactly.
Just to buy
so that you save 10 pesos.
But just buy the bag. It's cheaper when you buy the bag.
No, it's for the single is for you did traffic inside.
Life is difficult, so not everybody is able to buy the bag. You know, people just.
But even think of it, you are in the back of a trotro.
You can't buy a bag. You have to buy. You understand.
Unless you are moving from Kaswa to Medina,
right?
Now you can buy 3.
Because it's quite.
Then at every point with the
traffic, right?
Udu job one back. Udu Fiesta. Fiesta. When you get to the Shashi, one back. Lego no one final one.
Right.
You are light nicely at your destination. I mean, so I mean all these stories. I think it was this week also that we got a Black Stars coach.
Oh yes. It was announced Sunday night, right? And we got it Monday.
Yes, Carlos Queiroz. Yes. So a lot has happened this week.
You know the funny thing, yesterday I was having a conversation with one of our guys in the newsroom, and he said he was so happy. In fact, he's one of our seniors. He was so happy. He said, you know, when the week breaks with so many big stories, you know how journalists, you just get so excited because you don't have to really put in the extra stuff.
Because there's so much that you can work on.
Your plate is full.
Material.
Yes, and it's
All right, so let's activate the phone lines now so we talk about your highlight of the week. A plethora of issues from Carlos Queiroz being introduced to Ghana as the newest Black Stars coach to
fuel prices as well, the OSP, Attorney General, all issues.
And then the kiosk clinics that have been launched also by government in all our communities. And stop eating banku. Stop eating banku after 7 p.m.
How many of us laughed through that speech by the president? Oh my God!
There's a comment I saw on Facebook. The person was saying that we are operating 24-hour economy. So the Wache people also will sell Wache at night.
So now that the president says our last meal should be at 7 p.m. and you have no pure water.
It was so funny. He described the Greater Accra Regional Minister that she's demolishing who is a commando or something. And then the health minister as a Kolanyame because of what he's doing.
Imagine?
I mean, it was just I was just laughing throughout it was an
the health minister storms.
I know, right?
Yes.
Anyway, let's activate the phone lines now so you can also have the opportunity to talk to us about your highlights of the week. Welcome to TV3 Newdays this morning.
economy has been stable for a while. We think that they have been cushioned. So it is good time for the industry to also cushion Ghanaians. They have agreed to do that so that we continue to enjoy the stability that we have in the system. Because in any economy, there are gains and there can be losses. Don't worry, this is temporary. I think that this economy is resilient enough to bounce back quickly so that you make the returns on your investment. So on that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, sachet water sellers, retailers, wholesalers, the prices has been stable for a while. We think that they have been cushioned. So it is good time for the industry to also cushion Ghanaians. They have agreed to do that so that we continue to enjoy the stability that we have in the system. Because in any economy, there are gains and there can be losses. Don't worry, this is temporary. I think that this economy is resilient enough to bounce back quickly so that you make the returns on your investment. So on that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, sachet water sellers, retailers, wholesalers, the prices remain the same.
Welcome back to TV3 Newday. Time now for us to hear your thoughts and your opinions on topics that have trended all week. But this morning, we're concentrating on sachet water that is seeing some increment on the market, even after the trade minister sat with stakeholders and admonished that we keep prevailing prices. But it looks like a few days or a few weeks after, that advice or advocation has not been adhered to, and the prices are going up. We're told that at the moment, a sachet of pure water on the market is going for 70 pesos, 3 of them going for 2 cedi 10 pesos. But of course, if you buy 3, you get the 10 pesos slashed off and you pay 2 cedis. Joseph Akable is by the dashboard. And what do you have for us, Joseph?
So we put out a poll. What we're trying to find out is ask the question whether, since this whole interaction had commenced, whether you have had to buy it at a higher price than it ought to have been. And so that is the question that we put out. And we used 2 platforms. We did the generic one on the Facebook platform, and we also did one on the WhatsApp channel as well. And interesting outcome on both ends. So I'm going to walk you through that right now. So the question here is, have you bought sachet water at a higher price recently, despite assurances by producers that prices wouldn't be increased? So that's the commitment from the producers, which you heard the minister make reference to. So we asked, it's a simple yes or no. And this was on Facebook, our Facebook page. So let's see how that particular one played out there. So you realize that those who said no are 51%, i.e. a slight majority just making the point that they have not bought sachet water at a higher price recently. And those who say yes, they have bought at a higher price recently constitute 49%. So this is on the Facebook situation there. But when you go over to what we did on the WhatsApp channel, it returns an alternate result. So if I should put it that way, the same question again, but you see that the yes is 277. So more people basically making the point that yes, they have bought sachet water at a higher price recently, despite assurances by producers that prices wouldn't be increased. And those who answered no are just at 93 there. And so that is how it looked over there. And some of you have been sharing your comments with us on the various social media platforms as well. Uncle Eko here, you make the point that you bought one for 70 pesos at Kolebu yesterday. Accra Central, one for 5 cedis, but we heard what the trade minister said. I'm not sure it should be 5 cedis there. That would be too much. And that the association have agreed not to increase prices. Is it that there are no laws in this country or what? It's sad. That is what you are saying over there. So that's it in terms of some of the comments that have come. And you see the other side there. Okay, I guess I'm assuming that he's referring to the bag. The bag, yes, absolutely, the bag. So this one here, Omahene Appao's comment should be 15 cedis per bag. That's it. It's what should be. Whilst the 70 pesos up here is the sachet. The single one.
But Dorcas is saying it's 12 cedi in Takrady.
Yes, that's what Dorcas Creation says. It's 12 cedi a bag. Okay. And some people are selling the pack at 12, so you're referring to the bag as well. That is Ayikushi. And then in Nekwa also says 8 cedis
No, that's wrong.
It was also wrong. Yeah, you mean the bag? The bag as well. And so those are some of the comments that have come up so far. Obviously it shows that there's a bit of price disparity, if I can put it that way, that is taking place. And I mean, it's something that a lot of people are worried and have been talking about, and it's something that you can also call and share your views with us as well. It just indicates to us whether it has indeed gone up where you normally buy it, particularly those of you who enjoy the luxury and the comfort of public transport. You get to move around different. You guys you don't think it's luxury and comfort. It's the most exciting. I don't get why Beatrice and the luxury and
keep explaining.
I'm saying that the luxury and comfort of public transport.
What's so luxurious about?
But nobody has said anything.
The luxury is in the fact that you manage to sit in different cars at every point in time.
Okay.
Cars that even the manufacturers will see and they'll be surprised that did we make this car
in Ghana?
Right here in Ghana. And the comfort, because I mean you get to have a lot of people around you. You get to have people diverse backgrounds. They are all in the car with you and they have various conversations.
I so disagree with the
luxury and comfort of public transport. Yes, it's a marketplace of conversations. It's a bustling place of ideas, vibrant ideas being put across all over. I miss public transport so much. But yeah, over to you guys right
Well,
there.
you can decide to take public transport every Friday. How about that?
I'll be late.
Yes. Oh, you
No, Friday was stressing because you'll be handling the panel.
You'll be late. You'll be late on Friday. And then start free 4 a.m. You leave home at 4 a.m. and by 6 you would get there.
All
right. Let's get onto the phone line. So do call us and let's know what your thoughts are. Our first caller, Abdul, is on the line. Good morning, Abdul, and thank you for joining us here on TV3 Newday.
Good morning, Kukichi.
Abdul, if you could raise your voice a little bit, we would be grateful.
Okay. Good morning, Kukichi.
Yes, good morning.
I want to use this opportunity to say good morning to the two of you in the studio and then to your viewers. I want to touch a bit on the fuel price and then the pure water issue. The fuel price, as we all know, is important when it comes to economic activities, because most of our goods are being transported by a lot of cars which consume especially diesel. But it has been reduced a bit. So I would urge that the business owners should also at least cushion Ghanaians a bit, because previously people would have said that because of Ukraine and Russia war, that war still exists up to date. Now we have Israel, America, and then Iran in addition. But government was able to do something about the fuel. And then the pure water issue, for me, when you come to Upper West region, we have a lot of pure water companies around. But when the issue broke, a particular company urged the others to maintain their prices, and that is Zamzam Pure Water. And most of them decided to increase their prices, but he remained his price. So I would urge the people of Upper West to go for Zamzam, because if others can maintain, you are all buying the same products to produce your water. Why that person is able to maintain his price and you cannot maintain your price? So I will urge people to go for Zamzam and leave the others. And then finally, let me extend this my greeting to Aziz Donla, who is our incoming regional communication officer. And then my brother, Adams Muadin, is also vying for deputy regional organizer. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul, for calling. Aziz Donla, we are waiting for the smoke. He said it's been ready. He sent me a message to tell me.
Yeah.
So Aziz Donla, we are still waiting. Another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. This is TV3 Newday. Oh, too bad. I think we lost caller.
But a number of you have already sent messages,
Okay.
including Aziz Donla. I want to see the one. So he says that, Sachet Water Association should quickly review the increment because cost of production is low and we don't want to pick a bone with them at the selling point. However, the electric energy I get in WA is unmatched. Incredible and amazing is what is keeping me moving. Operation Cookie must visit WA is fully activated.
I'm coming this year. This year, it's definitely happening. Another caller on the line. Beatrice, you want
Yes,
to
we
pick
do
that
have
for us?
another caller. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on This Morning segment on New Day. Please tell us.
Hello, good morning, my sister.
Good morning.
My name is Baba Katam. I'm calling from Iskara Katam constituency.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Thank you for joining us.
Let me thank my regional chairman and Metoku, whoever you are. Good job is doing for this great country. You deserve another second term. You are feeling for constituency executive to vote for him. My sister, I want to talk about people in our president, you do a fantastic job because petrol is most important to this country. If you increase petrol, everything that is important to this country will be increased. But how we are managing our energy sector, Ghanaians deserve to commend him. Good job you are doing. This morning, I'm happy for how we are doing for our energy sector because petrol go up. The most important, everything can go up. About our water, sachet water, we are giving to them. Reduce the prices because this prices 70%, just one. How much I can buy about food sachet? This item in our import. Because you can tell us about because of Iran and American war. Because of that, it can increase by this and this water. We are appealing to them. They come down. It's too much. Thank you this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for calling in and for sharing your thoughts with us.
You know, Alaji is vying for communication officer for the Savlugu constituency.
Yes, he told
right?
us yesterday.
Yeah, he sent me the artwork to study and to support. So I'm going to be sharing that
That's nice.
with you, yes, shortly. But another caller is on the line. Thank you for joining us. This is TV3 Newday. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning, Cookie. Good morning, Aka, and good morning, Beatrice.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
GH from Upper West region.
Say that again. We didn't catch the name.
Yes, about the increase in sachet water, I think Upper West here, my brother made mention of a particular company in Upper West maintaining their prices and others increasing. I think we are the cause of our problem in this country. Anytime the government is out to make things easy for us, we see the citizens turn around to thwart their efforts. Why am I saying this? Electricity prices have gone down. We have seen reduction in taxes, and yet you go ahead to increase prices. What are you telling the government? Let's just cast our minds back to some few years ago. You could realize that things were really hard for every Ghanaian, but you maintained your prices. But here is the case, you have seen lot of reduction of taxes, you have seen lot of reduction of utility prices, and yet you have gone ahead to increase your prices. Now we are buying sachet water here, 10 cedi, 15 cedi, which used not to be so. So we are pleading on the water manufacturers that they should please take a second look at what they are doing. They are rather shooting themselves on the foot because if government decides to also increase some of the taxes, what will you do? We live in a eco-symbiosis environment. We should benefit from each other, not be harming each other. I would like to say good morning to our incoming communication officer, Donla. That we are focused on the Donla is going to take the mantle, and I'll go ahead to greet my able brother Nicodemus, NDP Derry. We wish them a happy good morning. Good morning, Beatrice.
Thank you for calling us. Thank you. Mary Kai Naughty says, good morning. The government means well for Ghanaians. We thank him for that. But I want to comment on something. Honorable Elizabeth Ejare said on TV that sachet water should not be increased. But now 4 for 2 cedis is now 3 for 2 cedis. And also, if you are buying with 20 pesos and 10 pesos, they wouldn't take it as if that money is no more in use. So I'm begging the finance minister and the government to intervene, because if we stop using those monies, it means that we would have to buy it for either 60, 70 or 90. It means that they'll just sum it all up and say we should buy it for 1 Ghana cedi per sachet. Mary from Pong sent in that one. Christian Akotokoju says, what the president said was, when going to bed, that means not at work. You should eat latest 7 p.m. It therefore means that if you are actively working in the night, you still can eat heavy food. Christian Akoto from Jolo in the Volta region sent in that. Yeah, just trying to
That's
defend,
actually...
He's just trying to defend why he has to eat at night.
But medically, he's correct, though.
If you're not sleeping...
If you're not sleeping, you can still eat.
You can still eat
yes.
it. But if you're sleeping an hour or two,
yes, because I remember a doctor saying here on Newday that you could still, after eating, you have to stay up to like 6 hours before you sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you're going to stay awake for that long, then... But there's a message here from Mr. Stephen Penwa, who says, good morning, Beatrice. Of course, to you as well, Cookie T. He says, the office of the Special Prosecutor was established by an Act of Parliament, and I believe it is only the Supreme Court that can vary the working of the OSP and not the High Court. And this is coming from Stephen Penn. Maybe I can read 2 more. It says, good morning, Beatrice, Cookie, and Akable. As of yesterday evening, I realized that at a golf filling station in Wa, near the regional hospital, diesel was reduced by, only 1 cedi, and it was selling at 16 pesos. The reduction intervention by the president is 2 and not 1. The said goal of filling station attention has been drawn to it. Simon Yenwa. Thank you very much. I think we do have another call on the line. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir. We can hear you. Please, your name, where you're calling us from.
This is Sani from Wali Wali.
Okay. Is this Simon?
Yes, Sani.
Yes. Oh, Sani, yes. Sani, yes.
Yeah. Cookie's brother. And yes, so I just want to greet my people in Wali Wali, and then to advise my sister that Cookie T, that she should know that she's naturally endowed. Okay, so the way she's twisting and turning this morning, if she doesn't take care, she'll cause troubles for her. Yes.
Sorry, it wasn't deliberate. Forgive me. I had to show the beauty of the style I'm wearing this morning. So, and as an African woman, please understand.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's good. Your brothers,
it means you caused trouble this morning.
Right? Yeah, you cause confusion. So do it slow, okay? Okay. So yes, the situation is no different. They have also increased. A bag of the water. It used to sell 2 Ghana cedis, so they have also increased it to 10 Ghana cedis. And then we think that is not fair on their part, because they should consider that the northern part of the country, we are not economically in doubt as compared to the south. So here, even meeting the 3 daily square meal is a problem. And we are brothers and sisters. We all know the economic conditions of this country. So if the president is doing well to make sure that he pushes the people, and then mitigate us from the kind of situation that we face, and then we ourselves want to take advantage of the situation and punish our brothers, I think that's no good. So, but I want to blame the MMDAs across the country, because they are supposed to enforce that kind of directive. That is the municipal district assemblies. They are supposed to make sure that they form task force to make sure that they comply with the law. But if Christians are not also doing anything, they also throw their hands in despair and then allow the situation to linger on. So I think that is no good. They should reduce the price. Other than that, we are going to organize demonstrations across the northern part of the country to demonstrate against them, so that they will reduce the prices, so that we'll be able to afford. That is not proper at all. They are not serving us well. And then my other highlight has to do with the free primary health care. Health, yes, I think that one too is very, very important. And you see, we need to be thankful to our president. We need to thank human beings when they do the right thing. If you don't thank your colleague, human being. You not even thank God when He does right to you, right? So those who do not thank God, their colleague human beings when they do right, they will not even thank God when He helps them. So let us hail our president. Because look, health is what? Wealth. So he's trying to bring the health to the doorstep of the people. You know, here we don't have the money to go to the big hospitals and to have access to health care. But now they are bringing it to our homes, to our houses, so that the nurses will come and educate us as to how we'll be able to control certain diseases, to even prevent it so that it will not even come in the first place. So that is why we are very, very happy about it. So let us thank him and make sure that, and the funding is already there. You understand? Yeah, 1.2 billion Ghana cedis from oil revenue. So you only need your Ghana card to go and access it. So we are very thankful to him that God should help him to continue doing the right things for us. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sani from Wali Wali.
Sherry Giovanni says, good morning, Cookie. There's increase in the price of sachet water. Secondly, it seems some people are bent on dissolving the OSP. Ghanaians and CSOs must not sit down for this office to become powerless. They must fight for the powers of this office. Good morning to Miss Mariam Oga of UEW. All right. Good morning also to Ebenezer, my own boy, Ebenezer Selom. You are watching all the way in Wa this morning. Ebenezer Selom Nobu. Ebenezer Selom Nobu. Good morning to you. And Beatrice, we have an august visitor on the telephone lines, vying as a communications officer for the Savlugu constituency, of course, on the side or on the ticket of the NDC. And in his own voice, Alaji, how are you?
Cookie.
Alaji.
How are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Beatrice. Now, where's my friend Roland? He's well.
Roland is handling other duties today.
And Joseph Makabile.
He's right here in studio.
Yes.
And Nasheko.
I'm sure she's also watching.
Yeah, when you went to Italy, I think you enjoyed the Italy, even your comment, and you write in your post.
Hey, Alaji.
Alaji,
next time I'll go with you. Let's go to the matter you want to talk about.
No problem. Let me send my greetings to Shami Mahmoud and Alaji Alasan and Chairman of Fuso Ampofo. Do you know, Eric, Preferred Ufurubia is also vying for the regional communication officer and Aziz Dollar.
Yes, we know that as well.
Let's pray for this, our people, maybe. And let me send my greetings to Julius Dev and Dr. Wumbi.
Alaji.
When you look about this country, the country is governed by law, is that not so?
It is so.
When the country is governed by law and they give the directive and you fail to do needful things and you have been doing what you want, you need to punish that people. Because if you say you will not sell it more than the price and you have been selling it for the past, and you are now come out to increase it. For what reason? Tell us your reason and you have been increased the filter prices. Tell us your reason. You don't have reason. Let people sabotage the government. We will not sit down and allow this thing to continue. Because of this sabotage, and you see they cancel the 10% and 20%, you know they cancel it. But 20% and 10%, they cancel it in this country. What kind of life is that? We need to look about these things and enforce the law. If you see somebody who is increased the price, we need to let the law deal with that person.
Okay.
So we will not tolerate this in this country.
Alaji.
May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation progress and strong.
God bless
Thank
you. God bless you and bless your weekend as well. I'll take this one and then I'll hand over to you, Beatrice. William, welcome to TV3 Newday. Your thoughts this Friday?
Good morning, Kukuti.
Good morning, William.
Kukuti, how are you?
Very well, by the grace of God. How are you too?
Kukuti, I'm happy that I get to talk to you. This is my first time I'm talking to you.
Oh, wow. I'm glad talking to you as well. And is this the first time you've gotten through the telephone lines as well?
Yes, I tried my possible, but I'm not getting you. We can ask George Quinn.
Today you're here. Oh, you are the gentleman I spoke to with George Quinn.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Great to have you on the show. You're welcome.
Yes. Cookie, the day that you resign for TV3, TV3 will collapse. Yes.
Bosu, let's go to the matter.
Okay. My contribution for the pure water. You see, we here, we don't have any problem on the pure water.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not been increased in your area?
We don't have any problem.
Where do you live again? Where do you work? Is it Nima? I can't remember. Is it Nima?
Yeah, we met. Me and George met, but I'm not telling where we met.
Okay, but where do you normally live, or where do you work, and how much is a sachet of water?
I'm working with the G4 Security Company Limited.
Okay, and a sachet of water in that vicinity is going for how much?
It's okay for us. We don't have any problem. They are the FPP people who are sabotaging Domama.
Okay, so as for you, you are fine.
It's okay. We don't have any problem.
Fantastic. Enjoy your day. Thank you for calling, and congratulations for getting through the telephone lines.
I like the way he called your name. Let me read some.
Beatrice, please read some messages. Yeah.
He mentioned your name at every point.
I'm telling you.
Anyway, thank you for calling. A message from Chachuchi Kata Jr. It says, good morning, Beatrice. Sachet water prices have remained unchanged in the Upper West region, even following the recent reduction in fuel prices. Beyond that, government officials are actively putting measures in place to ensure that citizens enjoy affordable water prices, because water is life. Yesterday, I had working Regional Minister Charles Puzring Esquire, I hope I got the surname correctly, visited some sachet water producers in the region, and positive discussions were held. And he says that, he says, not forgetting to kind of greeting incoming Regional Communications Officer Aziz Donla. And let me read this coming from Dennis Y. Akwete. He says, Beatrice, truth be told, it must not be heard that it is during the regime of the NDC that the OSP suffers any bad fate. It would be the end of the NDC, irrespective of whichever achievement the government may have chalked. And this is coming from Kwamina Acidity. I have for Trincia. Good morning, beautiful ladies, Cookie Tea and Beatrice. Good morning. It's not a first time sachet water price has increased in this country. MPP communicators must stop making empty noise on the sachet water price increase. Happy Juma Mubarak to National Cereal Callers Association of NDC. Okay. That's coming from Kwamina
Isaac too says that a bag is going for 6 cedi or sometimes 7 cedis in the Volta region. So it looks like in the Volta region.
Then it's expensive in Accra.
Things are a bit stable. Philip Abochi also says, good morning to you both. Certain individuals amongst us are dissatisfied with the behavior exhibited by the Pure Water Sellers Association. What is the quality of sachet water we are consuming? The machinery utilized for its distillation also falls short of expected standards. Why should bottled water companies be exempt from the price increase, unlike pure water vendors? I salute Honorable Jifa Gomashi, MP for Ketu South. Philip Abochi sent in that one. And Prince Hina also says, in the Upper West region, a bag is going for between 8 and 10 cedis. This is realistic and reasonable. Without that, the pure water companies will be out of business because most of them are already running at losses. Okay.
Aziz Zola says, my best wishes to Prince Henry Kofoidi, incoming regional CRO for NDC. We are together on this message. Perhaps, okay.
And we are told, I'm just understanding that today is the birthday of the Honorable MP for Ablekuma North, Honorable Irabna Albin. Honorable Irabna Albin, God bless you so much. Happy birthday from all of us to you, Honorable Irabna Albin, MP for Ablekuma North. Joseph, you've got messages for us? Okay. All right. Just to remind you to pack up your day with the milky Way, with Milky Way, that has the rich, smooth taste of Peck milk chocolate. It's available everywhere. It's pure delight. Get some for yourself, for your loved ones, and for your family as well. I think it's a good time to take a break.
Indeed,
and
yes.
when we come back, Joseph Akable will be stirring affairs for the big issue. But do remember that you're cashing out big time with us this morning. You're enjoying 1,000, another 1,000. Then the third person takes 2,000, and the final draw to the last person will be 5,000 Ghana cedis. So you're choosing option 8. You're choosing option 8, which is the MG option, *439#, *439#. If you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Joseph?
Do you know about Kakalika?
The dance.
Do you know about Kakalika?
Yeah, I know about the song and the dance.
Kakalika, they are the bakupe.
It's the
You know
dance.
Kakalika?
Of course. It's the dance now.
Yeah.
Joseph, I can blame.
We'll
So do
be right
the
back,
dance.
yeah?
So do the dance.
No, I'm a lawyer,
No,
relax, I can't do that. Let's take a break, we'll be right back. When I dance, they are telling me that I should do this.
No, do the kakalika is very simple. It's just like, hey.
the country of the office.
First, we saw the leader of government business, Honorable Mahama Yarega, and the MP for Boku Central, and then the Honorable Majority Chief Whip, Honorable Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo, bring a private member's motion to the floor of Parliament, seeking to abolish the office of the Special Prosecutor. Now that is a parliamentary, attack. They were called to order by the president from what we were told. Then there was an attempt to use the executive. So petitions were filed. A series of them, the last time I mentioned that there were about 10 petitions, some people argued, but there were quite many petitions. And those also failed the test of prima facie. So they were also thrown out. Now the last leg is to use the judiciary. And this is what we are saying. All this Attorney General has to do is to give the necessary authorization. And then we'll stop all of this, confusion that is, all over the place. But we are hearing, for instance, my very good friend, Honorable Dr. Justice Sremsai, saying that they are going almost immediately to start taking over the cases. There are two courses of action. You give the authorization or you proceed. And even with that proceeding, you need to wait because the OSP has indicated an intention to appeal that decision.
And the reference he makes to Dr. Sai's post, that particular post, the concluding part says, the Honorable Attorney General has no intention or capacity to disobey or ignore the High Court's order. Accordingly, the Office of the Attorney General will in the coming days begin to take the necessary steps to give effect to the court's order. And for many of you who are wondering just a little bit of context, one of the individual who made this application is actually being prosecuted in a separate matter at the High Court. And so that is how come he raised it at that court. He didn't get the results he wanted. Then he filed this specific application asking the court to ask the OSP to demonstrate by what authority is undertaking that particular prosecution. Let me introduce you to my guest in the studio. Abraham Amaliba is a legal practitioner, a member of the National Democratic Congress as well, Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, a regular on the Friday belt. Last week we needed him in the studio, but he was not present because there were a lot of issues relative to his office and what they were doing. Senior, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. But why did you bring two MPP people here? And they have come to portray their colors white and blue. Who says that? Why? Why the blue here?
You want to do the introduction? Senior, you want to do the introduction?
No, I want to add on.
So I've just introduced you. No, don't worry. I've just introduced you. Let me introduce every other person. Then we'll see how.
So they have to explain.
Yeah. So Abraham Maliba is with the NDC. That's how I've introduced him, and I've done his introduction. There's also in the studio Ebo Bachman. Ebo Bachman is Deputy Communications Director for the United Party. Ebo has not had a good week. Good morning, Ebo. Thank you for joining us as always.
Good morning. It's always been a pleasure to be here. But then you know what happened to us. We still, at least 2 legs. We won one.
Barcelona will bounce back.
It's my team. Madrid.
It's my team as well. Also in the studio is Kamaldeen Abdullahi. Kamaldeen Abdullahi is a member of in fact, Deputy Communications Director for the MPP. So he's the MPP rep on the table this morning. He's also the former Consul General to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Good morning. Thank you for joining us as always.
Good morning, Akable. And thanks for having us.
Yeah, so he is the one in the white that Senior was making reference to.
You know what the Gombe say?
What did they say?
He who slaughters doesn't desire to slide down flat on his back. Never loved it. Why? For fear of being slaughtered. Why? MPP would have an individual here, and you have 3 NDC seated. The Bachman is NDC. Okay.
Now I'm coming over. Okay, thank you, Director. Thank you. So you see the point. The point I sought to make is that allow me. The point I sought to make. Come on, you hold on. So today, hold on.
You label me NDC.
The point I wanted to make is allow me to do the introduction. So I've introduced the MPP member around the table. Also in the studio with us is Austin Bracco Powers. Austin Bracco Powers is a private legal medical practitioner. Good morning, Austin. Thank you very much for joining us. I'll start immediately with you, Austin, and I want us to I'll give you a bit of time just to talk through your thinking about it. Let's start with the decision of the High Court judge. I mean, first, do you agree with the reasoning and the conclusion that the judge reached as well?
Just let me say good morning to your viewers. And I think it is important to clarify that I'm not a member of the New Patriotic Party. Neither am I a member of the governing national. No, it is important because of what he said. Yes, because of his mischief. So I needed to cure it.
Yeah, but my introduction was very clear.
No, I needed to cure it. I know there's an agenda by AB and his colleagues. So I need to put the matters in their.
Tell them you are coming to UP.
Let's move on.
They fear being slaughtered themselves.
Joseph, I've had the opportunity to read the 25-page judgment. And I must say that save for a few commentaries, judicial commentaries that the judge made, I think the judgment or decision was sound. Save some few prejudicial commentaries. And I don't want to dabble in the prejudicial commentaries first. Let me deal with the substance of the matter.
Okay.
Now, I've heard many say that this is a terrible blow, or this will deal a terrible blow to the OSP. And they tend to band it around that because of this judgment, the Office of the Special Prosecutor may not be able to do its work as expected. But Joseph, it is important to point out that this is a decision of the High Court. It only binds the court below the High Court. It doesn't bind any other High Court. So, even though this is a decision of the High Court, any other High Court sees with another matter being prosecuted by the Special Prosecutor can go on. Because that is a position of the law. High Court are courts of coordinate jurisdiction. So no one High Court decision binds the other High Court. So I have said that even though this is the decision of the Justice Nyante, the other court sees with the matter, other matters, can go ahead. The OSP can go ahead and prosecute those matters. Because this is a High Court decision. It's not a Court of Appeal decision, which decision binds all High Courts. And it's not a Supreme Court decision, which decision binds Court of Appeal and the other court below. So the OSP has not been dealt any terrible blow.
I mean, how do you reconcile your conclusion with some of the orders that the court made, for instance? Because the court says that, well, under the supervisory authority of the High Court, it can issue various orders. And those orders, it could be prohibition, mandamus, and they have basically prohibited the OSP from prosecuting. They've also ordered that the AG takes over those cases. Would the OSP not risk being in contempt of a High Court if it tomorrow wakes up and shows up in another High Court and decide that they want to prosecute the matter?
Joseph, the OSP will not be, or the Special Prosecutor will not be in contempt of the High Court decision, because we have had situations where two High Court judges have given two disparate rulings on the same matter. So the person lost in one High Court and went to another High Court and got a different judgment. Would you say that was contempt of judgment, contempt of court? No, because like I said, the High Court decision does not bind any other High Court. So the other cases before the other High Court, the Special Prosecutor can go ahead and prosecute them. Now, Joseph, but what is the substance of the whole conversation? The judge is saying the Special Prosecutor lacks the authority. And I always say, Joseph, usually when you ask people to represent you, it is important you brief those people properly. I've had the opportunity to look at the memorandum accompanying the Special Office of the Special Prosecutor Bill 2017. And when you read the introduction, you have the conviction that this is a clear case of authorization. In fact, I compared it with the Iyoko bill and the other bills. And when you look at the tenor and the voice in which the OSP's memorandum was drafted, it was a clear case of authorization. Now, the thing is that what is the nature of authorization? When you read Section 56 of Act 30, it says may. And you know that when you read Section 42 of the Interpretation Act, it makes it clear that may is what? May is permissive and empowering. May is permissive and empowering. So they may. Now, in other instances, the Attorney General had given the prosecutorial authorization through executive instrument. But does it mean that the Attorney General could not use any other authorization form in terms of, let's say, statute, through statute, authorize another institution through statute to act? They can. So the conclusion, even though I agree with the judge, and I felt the special prosecutor or whoever represented the office was sloppy, because they needed to have shown the bill, the memorandum accompanying the bill to the judge, because we know per our Interpretation Act, when you are trying to understand a particular thing, you must broaden the conversation.
Okay. So just for clarity, you hold the view that the act had granted authorization?
Yes.
Yeah, but how do you? Okay, let me ask this question this way. Do you agree that, assuming the act has granted authorization, that if the OSP is prosecuting a matter, the Attorney General can enter nolle prosequa?
Joseph, if you monitor my commentaries since the start of this OSP shenanigan, I have said that the OSP is not as independent as many people claim. I have said from day one, being mindful of Article 88.3, that the special prosecutor could not do anything independently of the Attorney General. I have said, remember when the whole Kenofurata issue came, and the Attorney General office was saying that the OSP was being slow and sluggish. I stated that take the matter from them, because you have the authority.
Okay.
They are prosecuting the matter in your name. So I've not been under any illusion that the special prosecutor is independent. And many people who have made such commentaries and bandited those commentaries around, I have told them that per my reading of the law and my understanding, the OSP could never have claimed to be independent of the Attorney General. So, so Joseph, the thing is that per the memorandum accompanying the special prosecutor bill, authorization has been given. And I'm saying that anyone who doubts should take a closer look at the bill and read it carefully. Sometimes when you read, I always say that when you read, let the words sink in.
Okay. So, I mean, if you read 88.4, it says, all offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any other person authorized by him.
Yes, Ali.
Authorized by him.
Yes.
Will a statute be deemed to be authorized by the Attorney General?
Yes, when you read it. Yes.
No, I'm asking you, a statute.
Yes, if a statute says, that's something that when you read a memorandum, you get understanding that.
No, I want us to stay with the statute.
No, yes. Itself. If a statute gives you the authorization, it is all the better.
No, I'm saying that how is a statute given an authorization by the Attorney General? Because the lawmaking process will be that the bill will go to Parliament.
Yes.
Parliament passes the bill. Of course, it's sponsored by the Attorney General.
Yes.
But Parliament passes the bill. The President signs the bill into law. So it's an activity between the executive and the legislature to bring the law into force.
Exactly.
But the provision says that the authorization is by him. Would that be deemed to be an authorization by the Attorney General?
Yeah. No, I would say yes. Don't forget that the Attorney General acts in place of the government. The Attorney General is a legal advisor for the government. In fact, even when you read 88 carefully, it tells you that the President can even expand the roles of the Attorney General. And when this whole discussion started, when the government of President Nana Akufo-Addo started the conversation to bring in the OSP, it was a conversation initiated by the Attorney General. And I am saying that the Attorney General then had authorized the special prosecutor to act or to take part of its prosecutorial powers. So a statute could amount to an authorization. It doesn't matter whether
but if a statute amounts to authorization, then how do you agree with Justice Nyandu's conclusion?
That's what I'm saying.
Because the OSP's lawyers argue that they have the automatic authorization from the statute.
But you see, Joseph, when you read the document, if they had shown him the memorandum accompanying the bill, then I would have been convinced that the judge didn't do his work well. Sometimes I always tell people, Joseph, you may have a good case, but if you don't produce the relevant document at the relevant time or at the right time, you will lose it. And losing it does not mean that you are not mindful of your rights.
Okay.
I am saying that whoever represented the office of the Attorney General did a very, very sloppy work.
The OSP, you mean?
Yes. The office of the special prosecutor did a very sloppy work.
Okay.
Because if the person had been mindful and read the memorandum accompanying the bill, the person would be convinced. And if they had shown it to the judge, I'm not sure the judge would have arrived at this decision. I support the judge's decision because, like I said, Joseph, you can have a fine case, but if you don't if you are not alive to your responsibilities to produce a relevant document, you will lose the case. And when you lose the case, don't blame the judge.
Okay.
Because the rule of the game is what? Evidence. But just let me touch on the prejudicial commentaries I found in the judgment, which for me was, I find it disconcerting. The judge, in one breath, he said that, in fact, he made a mockery of the special prosecutor or the office of the special prosecutor, because he said they thought that the act amended Article 88. In fact, when you read that paragraph, it was very sarcastic. The judge was very sarcastic, particularly page 16 of that judgment. The judge was very sarcastic, and I thought it was a solemn moment, a serious discussion, not a place for fanfare. Then again, when you look at page 21,
where he talks about the engineering to fulfill a campaign promise.
Exactly. I was asking myself, I was cringing. Judge.
But those are obites that
no, but
judges in delivering decisions.
These are the things they do, and people say they are A political party, B political party. They must be alive to their responsibilities. Do a dutiful work. Don't engage in or meddle in petty partisan conversations. Other than that, you'll be branded. When they brand you, then you tend to say that I'm not AB, I'm not CB. No. Do your work, maintain your neutrality, state the fact, and go ahead. This extra prejudicial commentary, Joseph, they are derogating from the seriousness of our judicial system.
Okay. All right. So, just for context, because some of you may not have read the decision, the second part, he says, the page 21 that Austin made reference to, he says, this is not a situation in Ghana, probably because Article 88 of the Constitution is entrenched. Yet, because there was the need to meet a campaign promise, some legislative gymnastics and re-engineering had to be done to see it brought to life without surmounting the glaring effect of Article 88 of the Constitution on the decision taken. So that's the first one. The second one he made reference to. Then when you go to page 16, where he was discussing whether the act amended the Constitution or not, he says, if officers of the Office of the Special Prosecutor held this belief or thinking, then indeed it was misconceived. He said perhaps the office of the respondent, that's the Special Prosecutor, by their name Special Prosecutor, had erroneously assumed that subsection 2 of section 4 of Act 959 consequently amended Article 88 of the Constitution and placed them at par with the Attorney General. And so that is the other one that he makes reference to. Let me come to Abraham Amaliba now. And the same sequence. You agree with the judgment of the court?
But before then, the statement made by Braco Powers that the judge made a mockery of the Special Prosecutor's Office. What you just read, the last one, that the officers there thought that their office is equal to that. What was the mockery about it? What was the mockery about it? The next one, was it not actually a campaign promise? Today, we campaigned for 23 hours. 24 hours.
Because you haven't delivered.
We campaign for 24 hours economy. The judge is
133.
The judge is part of the Ghanaian society. The judge knows what is happening surrounding us. Then in his ruling, he said that the NDC made a campaign promise. Is it true that it's a campaign promise or not? It is true.
The MPP, you mean?
No, I'm not talking about we ourselves.
Okay, for the 24-hour economy. Okay.
If in future,
okay.
Suppose this big hole that there is lying there. If it were a campaign promise, if it was not like a dream that somebody had a dream, and then a judge says that this was a campaign promise to build a cathedral for God, what is wrong with that? So please, leave the judge aside.
How about the legal gymnastics?
Yeah, legal gymnastics.
And re-engineering.
Because that provision is an entrenched clause, articulated under Chapter 5. It's entrenched. Unless you do, in fact, he should have said legal sophistry. You know, a software? Yeah. Unless you do sophistry, you can't change that thing. And it is true that it was engineering. That's not an insult.
Okay. So let's now move on to, you agree with the conclusions, the reasoning and the conclusions that he raised?
OSP, the office is a good office, but founded on a bad law. Now, let me read the mandate for the OSP, not the constitution, the mandate. And I'm going to talk about 4.2. Subject to clause 4 of Article 88 of the Constitution, the office shall, for the purposes of this act, be authorized by the Attorney General. Can't you see an action that should be taken? Be authorized is commanding the Attorney General to do something, to initiate and conduct the prosecution of corruption and corruption-related offenses. Where is the action of the Attorney General in this? Those who say that in this law, it is presumed that the authorization has been given. If you read this in ordinary English language, can't you see that this provision is asking the Attorney General to act, to do something? Whether he was going to write the authorization on a piece of paper, but he must do something. Where is that in? Good law, a good office, founded or forged on a bad law. I would have expected those in Parliament, or those who are going to do it, to say that for the purpose of this office, for the purpose of, where is it? Okay, so let me tell you what I thought it should have been there. Subject to clause 4 of Article 88 of the Constitution, the office shall, for the purpose of this act, be deemed to be authorized. Are you getting what I'm now saying? Be deemed to be authorized.
Well, how would that sit within 88 then?
I am now speaking for those who think that this gives automatic.
Okay. So you're showing them the difference.
I'm showing them the difference. If this law has said that it is deemed that Attorney General has authorized, be deemed to be authorized. So that one, you don't need an action. But the way it is drafted is what is giving all these things in court. Now, we are a litigious society in Ghana now. I think that after the 2012 elections, where the election petitions were beamed in people's bedroom, people have now become litigious. One of them, oh no, I won't say that. That is why my good brother, Braco, just for the naming of a hotel, an airport, he thinks that he must go to court to put the matter straight. You get my point? So you don't blame him. You don't blame him. So if you don't draft your law well and cover it, you give room for litigious people who are constantly looking for loopholes to go to court. And with this one, you can't blame the government for it. Because the president, who has openly told the people of this country that the OSP must be allowed to work, cannot stop individuals. Cannot stop individuals from going to court. What he could do was what he did with the 2 MPs. And we all saw that. But a Ghanaian going to court, and then you now begin to say that, oh, the government, you heard Tampuli, the government is trying to kill the OSP's office. If that were the case, this president, petitions came before him, and you know what he could have done. So leave government out. What I think is that the ruling of the judge, and you heard Michael Quay, who was then presiding. I don't know where you heard him this morning. Or yesterday rather, and played it this morning. Indicated that he saw this coming, but because he will not descend into the arena of conflict in parliament, he doesn't vote. He cannot do anything about it. So, and I think Haruna also touched on it. So some people saw it, and I think that these are the fruits of what people were talking about. But a good office, but founded on the weakness of a law. But I also think that the way we handle it would go a long way to give the impression whether we want to fight corruption or we don't want to fight corruption.
And on that impression,
the way we handle it, and for the judge has done nothing. The circumstances made the judge to do what he's doing. But now, the two institutions talking at each other will give the impression that our fight against corruption is beginning to weaken.
Okay.
So that is where my problem is as a member of this government.
Let's be specific. The statement put out by the Deputy Attorney General, does it give you cause for concern? Because he's saying that they are going to give effect to the ruling, especially when the OSP has publicly stated that they disagree and they intend to challenge it.
My advice to him this morning is to look at the aspect of the rule that says that they can be given a warrant to prosecute. He should explore that option and then await the Supreme Court ruling. He shouldn't take over the cases. He should give the OSP a warrant to prosecute those cases as they are ongoing. But I also want to call on the Chief Justice to, as a matter of urgency, and we see it in other countries, in the US, when matters are of public interest, they empanel quickly to deal with it. I don't know why they are still holding back. Indeed, in this country, we are told that you can file in the morning at 9 and get an empanelment at 12.
I mean, in this context, the facts that we know, just yesterday, at the Office of the Attorney General, they were asked for extension of time to even file their defense.
At where? In the Supreme Court? The
Supreme Court, yes. And the court granted it. They've been given 7 days.
Okay.
So in this case, you will not be able to fault the court that the court is not moving fast.
So I'm saying that if everything is ripened, pleadings are over, they should take a short time to dispose of this matter.
Okay.
Because it is about a whole institution. The taxpayers' money is in there. And so the Supreme Court, my advice this morning is to quicken up. But for the Attorney General, he should simply give warrants to OSP to prosecute the cases that he's doing and await. Who knows? Maybe the Supreme Court will just say, take over. Or the Supreme Court will say something else. So I don't think that he should take over the cases, but he should give a warrant.
I mean, and final one, I mean, I've heard people suggest that there's some bad blood between some of the individuals at play in all these matters, because the suggestion has also been made that, well, if the OSP is also minded, they should also write to the Attorney General like the other agencies do. In fact,
it's a two-way. I agree to that. It's a two-way affair. The Attorney General too can write to
the OSP.
The OSP. But I don't sleep with them. I don't eat with them. So whether there's blah blah, I don't know. So, but I agree that it should be two-way. Attorney General can do it. OSP. There are two state institutions can also do it, and then this matter will be rested.
All right.
But the Supreme Court, once again, should dispose of this matter quickly.
Let's show you specifically what Dr. Asai said, just to put it in context, and let me transition to the next speaker as well. So he says yesterday, he wrote this yesterday actually, the High Court ordered the Honorable Attorney General to take over all the cases which the Office of the Special Prosecutor is prosecuting until such a time that the OSP obtains the constitutionally required authorization to prosecute. The order was given in a case brought by an accused person, one Peter Archibald Hyde, who was being prosecuted by the OSP. In the case, Peter Archibald Hyde asked the High Court to direct the OSP to show that its officers are authorized by the Attorney General to initiate or conduct prosecution. Peter Archibald Hyde's lawyer argued that both the Constitution and the OSP Act require that the OSP to prosecute, but on the authorization of the Attorney General. The court records show, however, that the OSP was unable to show that it has the Attorney General's authorization, hence the court order above. The Honorable Attorney General has no intention or capacity to disobey or ignore the High Court's order. Accordingly, the Office of the Attorney General will in the coming days begin to take the necessary steps to give effect to the court's order. So that is Dr. Justice Shremsai, Deputy Attorney General, speaking on the decision and the next steps as well. Let me come to...
But you see...
You want to say something quickly? Yeah.
The ruling in courts borders on the principle of rule of law. And there are 3 principles of rule of law. Supremacy of the law, and the Constitution is supreme. Equality before law, and the certainty of law. Now, because the Constitution is the groom norm, anything that seeks to undermine that bigger law will be questioned in court. And I heard people saying that the judge has no powers to interpret the Constitution. It's not true. All of us sitting here have the power to interpret the Constitution. Indeed, your office here, if your board of directors are meeting, and I've said this example here before, if your board of directors are meeting and something is bothering their mind and they call the legal director to come and interpret a provision of the Constitution, the legal director will say, oh, continue sitting, I'm going to the Supreme, I'm carrying it to Supreme Court, and then I'll give it to Justice Bafuboni. He interprets and I come back. Everybody can interpret, and that's why the Constitution is written in simple language. But there are...
No, he didn't. He says that he applied...
But good. So I like the way the judge took his time to show that what he was doing was not interpreting. But I'm even saying that he can interpret, provided there are no competing, and judges interpret the Constitution every day anyway, but where there are contesting views of a provision, that's when you go to the Supreme Court.
In fact, the parties that appeared before him, they did not disagree on the meaning of the provision at all.
Yeah.
The only disagreement was whether the Section 4 was an implied authorization or not.
So when you hear people
everyone agreed that the AG has to authorize.
The High Court cannot interpret the Constitution, they are missing the point.
Okay. Let me come to Kamaldeen now. And Kamaldeen, I mean, we heard from Hassan Tampuli. He's alleging some state government-sponsored complicity. One would argue that you can't really point to a single government action in all of this. I mean, the AG is saying what any law-abiding person will say. We are going to abide by the decision. Yeah. I mean, what's the basis for?
Let me thank the lawyers this morning for educating us a bit and taking us through the legalities of this matter. And I believe that they have successfully done that. Both Lawyer Austin and then Lawyer Amaliba.
I'm the senior, you should have mentioned my name first.
Oh, okay. No, both Lawyer Amaliba and Lawyer Austin. You know, but he spoke first before you, so I'm just going by what happened today, not...
Amaliba is what today.
Akable, you see, you cannot take moral aspect of law out of what is law. That is why the positivists will have their argument and the legal realists will have their argument. Now, if you take what Lawyer Austin said and the tail end of the judgment given, when he spoke about engineering and legal whatever, and he thought that it was quite overboard, even though that dictum to the judge was needful. Lawyer Malba says, no, it was needful because he could mention it. I want to say that, look, what the legal realist will say is law, is what maybe the judge did. You see, but it exposes the thinking of the judge. Okay, and when that exposes the thinking of the judge, it will now grant us the power to also interpret what his thinking is. Because what the reasonable man says is law appears mostly to be law. You understand? So when you do this, then some colorization will be given to whatever you have done. That is the caution I believe Lawyer Austin was trying to throw out there, that most of this, our jurists, try as much as possible to let us avoid such comments when it comes to matters that are so important like this to us. You understand? Because one, a law has been passed, an institution has been established. That institution with the intent to fight corruption, which is a canker. Okay? However, a lacuna has been seen, or a gap has been seen in the law. Somebody take it up. That's a serious matter. You understand what I mean? Therefore, when you end it by saying that politicians engineered, wanting to fulfill their campaign promises and whatever, you, at the end of the day, neutralize the entire importance.
Those are factual matters.
Yeah, but of course, it gives rise to some of these thinking, which, of course, at the end of the day, will not inure to the benefit of the discussion that we do have. Why? Somebody who wants to be too political will just go on that tangent and forget about the meat of the matter. So I think I want to agree with him when he says that some level of, if you like, restraint be given when it comes to such matters. But of course, look at the whole issue. Legally, for me, of course, I also read through the judgment, and I felt I'm not a lawyer though, but the reasonableness that I do have, I think that the judge actually was on point. To a large extent, he was on point. The wording of section 4.2, and also looking at also what Article 88 said. I have always held the view, and I'm on other platforms to have said that, look, I see some, if like, conflict between this law and the mother law of this country. And that's exactly what is coming up today. Okay? But the question we all have to ask is, are we committed to fighting corruption ourselves as a people? It's a fundamental question. And the answer NDC will give is yes. The answer MPP will give is yes. The answer other political parties will give is yes. Because when you take their manifestos, you're going to see them, listing mechanisms they'll put in place to fight corruption. So if we're all committed to fighting corruption, and then we realize that there's a gap in the law that, of course, hinders a fight against corruption, what are we supposed to do? Let's all come together to cure it. Simple. I'm not surprised that I have seen some, apolitical people like Professor Prempe and the rest who have come out to say that, look, my brother, go and relax and take your salary and enjoy. Because they're throwing their hands in despair.
That's quite an unfortunate statement.
No, it's not unfortunate. It's
very
not
unfortunate.
No, my brother, you let me learn. Please, you have your time. It is not unfortunate. It is the way we present the issue. That's why I asked the question, are we all committed to fighting corruption? If we are all committed to fighting corruption and there's a gap, can't we all now find a way of curing that gap? As simple as that. So who are we deceiving? If the president comes out to say that, look, with my goodness, let the institution stay. And then the attorney general is supposed to be in cabinet all the time. The president makes a pronouncement that nothing touches OSP. Attorney general, having seen this gap, even though you have the right to work on it, to ensure at cabinet level, what have we said or discussed that will put in synergy what the president said and what we are going to be doing? So there's confusion here. Amalba says that, no, it doesn't mean that nobody cannot go to court. So everybody can go to court, all right. But if the president says, look, let's all follow what we all want to follow. The attorney general is supposed to follow what the president says. At the end of the day, if there's an issue, what is the mechanism put in place to solve it?
When the two MPs tried to do the thing with the bill, he put the brakes on it. In this particular instance, it's a private person who's being prosecuted. And he's said what he said. So, I mean, the president can say, the point I'm making is that the president can say whatever he wants to say respectfully. Something may go to court and may overturn or render what he's even said ineffective.
I made this comment because of the last page you made us to see coming from the Deputy Attorney General. Okay? I made this comment because of that. I wouldn't like to see it depart from what the president thinks and what actually the Attorney General office thinks. I wouldn't like to see that depart. When I see such a depart, I feel that our commitment to fighting the corruption in the commonality is actually missing. That is where my problem is. So my point is that even yes, somebody has gone to court, judgment has been given, what can we do to cure this matter?
Okay.
If the first government said that, look, social prosecutor was an office that was so important for us, and then put it in place, that same government, after putting the law and putting the institution in place, we know why. The law is evolves. At the point we realize that, look, this particular law is not actually is not consistent with what we have as a mother law. What can we do to cure it is so important. But if we manifestly appear to look like or to appear as if people who want to fight that institution, at the end of the day, it kills the spirit of we wanting to fight corruption. So for me, all that the Attorney General, the OSP is going through, for me, is not the best. What people in authority ought to do is to ensure that if there are gaps, let's fill in those gaps and put it right. But let us not create an impression out there that we are fighting against an institution that, of course, that is supposed to fight corruption. Lastly, when the Attorney General came to office, the first thing they did, was to file null prosequi on matters that were so important and gave reasons of 60-40 and all those things. So that impression that you created, you threw out there, the question now comes, can Attorney General prosecute their own? Was it because they were NDC? That's why those null prosequi were filed? Did we see null prosecutor in cases that were linked to MPP personalities? No. Now going forward, again, there's an institution in place. That institution comes in, you're supposed to find a way of protecting it. But of course, the court says we have made a judgment. Then at the end of the day, your actions and inaction point to you fighting the same institution, which is supposed to aid you fight corruption.
I mean, so I'm saying which specific government action can you put a finger on?
That what?
In this context to say that this shows that government is doing something to stifle the office.
You see, that is why I started off by saying that the positivists have the argument and the realists have the argument. Sometimes the realists, you look at the way the person behaves. You don't really necessarily have to see in black and white, this is what the person has said.
Yeah, but
the behavior of the person
but what's the behavior that is leading to the suspicion?
Why? The first behavior is that in Parliament we had members of NDC writing to say that they wanted to scrap that office. That's one. It's a behavior.
And the head of the government said what?
I'm coming. That's good. That's good. That's the first behavior. The second behavior is that somebody is in court questioning the prosecutorial authority of...
You choose and pick what is interested in. What did the head of the government say?
What did the head of the government say? The second behavior is that there's a case at the Supreme Court that many believe
that's also when you go out, government.
They will not tell you it's government. Many believe that, look, there are surrogates of people, this government, who are pushed to go to court to challenge an institution of this nature. Many have that belief. And if you do your investigation, you get to realize that the person at the who is at the Supreme Court, what link has he got with someone at the Attorney General?
I mean, he's worked with him before. It doesn't mean that he's been
instructed. Then the Attorney General comes to say, we second what the person is saying in the Supreme Court.
It's not strange. It's not strange. I'm saying that because...
I'm giving the indicators. You ask for them.
Yeah, I'm saying that because in our office, for instance, there's a matter that we did at the Supreme Court just recently. The AG agreed with our argument, and the court ruled in our favor.
AGs agree. Sometimes they agree.
Out of place for them to agree.
I have not said they don't agree, and I've not said those things don't happen. But I'm trying to say that for the optics, for what is out there, if we are all fighting corruption, and we all have a way to do it, there's a way you present yourself that at the end of the day would actually absorb you from some, if you like, attacks. So I'm saying, manifestly, what we have been seeing against the OSP, to the extent that he himself will have to come and do a press conference to say that, look, the scrapping or the fighting of the OSP or the fight to scrap the OSP is not dead. And not too long after doing this press conference, then these things come up. It speaks volumes. Okay. So I'm saying that you may not see it manifestly happening, but of course, actions and inactions of some institutions will point to the fact that you want to fight an institution that is supposed to fight corruption. Okay. And we all want to fight corruption. Let us find a way of closing those gaps and then protect those officers.
So if you don't see anything, you have no evidence. Are you now
yes, I'm coming. Are
you now hallucinating?
Yes, I'm coming. I'll give all of us.
I'm not hallucinating.
I'm coming.
So what is that?
I'll give all of us a minute after. I want to be fair to everyone, so let Ebotu have his say. Then we'll do a minute each. Then we'll wrap up on this.
I mean, this is. So it is established that the judge did not err in his ruling. The judge played the game according to the rules. What the Constitution says vis-a-vis the section 4.2 of the Act. On the basis of the two, the judge made his determination. And I think it is only proper to say that the judge did what was right. Now, let me come to the office and let me state our position as a political party.
Which one, NDC or which party?
What NDC?
And even before I do that, let me say this.
The position of NDC?
Let me say this. It has been the strategy of
I think you say this every week.
It's been a strategy of the...
I think you shouldn't give petrol
as the hunter keeps shooting without missing, we also keep flying without perching.
Okay. Which one is that?
So you keep saying that we belong to NDC.
No, I didn't say so. You said the political party. You didn't mention political party.
No, but the statement you had made earlier.
Focus on me.
You said plan to derail you.
Go on.
Yeah, but I will address that anyway. I will address that. You see, but the point is that the office of the special prosecutor, as we have it now, is superfluous. The office is not an independent office, and that makes it superfluous. Because if you look at Article 884 and look at what the Act also provides, certainly it makes it superfluous. What we need as a country is to have an independent anti-corruption institution. That's what we need. We don't need an institution that depends on the authority of the Attorney General. If that's the case, the Attorney General will have to just recruit people, or this office should be an Attorney General's office. It cannot stand on its own, so long as it is not an independent body. That is why in our GTP, we subscribed that for us to succeed in this fight against corruption, we should do certain things right. If indeed we want to, if politicians want us to succeed, first, let's collapse all anti-corruption agencies and authorities into one body. It's very important, so that there will be clarity and there won't be any confusion as to who is in charge of what. You remember, she said the past case. At a point, OS was handling it. Then it moved to Yoko, and I think CID was also was handling part of it. Confusion all over the place. So if you can collapse all our anti-corruption institutions into one anti-corruption body, I mean, even if it were to be the OSP, if I had collapsed all others into a body called OSP, I'm just saying it, that would be good for the country. 2, let's consolidate all our anti-corruption legislations into one comprehensive legislation, so that there will be clarity as to the fight against corruption. We have one institution, one legislation, then the head of that institution should be someone who is not appointed by the president. We want complete independence, so that the person can even prosecute the president himself, so that the person can even prosecute the Attorney General. But if you have a situation where the person would have to get his powers and authority from the Attorney General, and the Attorney General is also, the person is appointed by the president as well as Attorney General, then it will be difficult if you have a president who doesn't want issues to be prosecuted. Like Matramadu said at a point in time, said a president had become mother serpent of corruption. If you have a president who has become a mother serpent of corruption, how are you going to prosecute corruption in this country? So we should have complete independence, but that is why I said the statement made by Prof. H. Kwesi Prem is somebody I respect so much and I admire so much. But I think the statement he made was quite unfortunate. You see, you remember I said it here, that when we're doing the constitutional review, we should take advantage and cure the problem. You know what I said it here? Yeah. We should amend the constitution and make sure that we have a body that takes its authority directly from the constitution. I said it here. So we could have taken advantage of constitutional review. It is not late. Let's go back to the constitutional review committee's work and see what can be done to solve that problem. I agree with my brother.
A referendum or not just constitutional review.
No, of course. No, of course. You
may write whatever you want.
The committee would have to propose. Mm-hmm. Then we'll take it into consideration. But as I speak, from what I've heard and what I've read, that particular thing has not been dealt with or was not dealt with by the committee. And I'm saying that it's a major problem that we need to deal with. I agree with you that corruption has to be dealt with. I mean, we don't have to pamper corruption. And we can use our constitution to make corruption so expensive so that people will not even try to engage in it. But as we have it now, I don't think the office has got what it takes to be able to do what we Ghanaians want the office to do. For example, I mean, I've said it, that the fact that Nana Akufo-Addo appointed Martin Amedu, and Martin Amedu was not prepared to shift position, and that he stood on his grounds, and as a result of it, he resigned. There was no Nana Akufo-Addo was going to appoint someone like Martin Amedu again. So I've said it. My Kisejabin's position, appointment, I know Kenofo-Addo had input. Gabi and all those people had input. Of course, of course. No. See, you can't make this wild. What kind of allegation is that?
I mean, if
I mean, let's say it as it is. See, you like saying things.
No, it's not what we like.
I'm saying. The point I'm making is that.
How did Kenofo-Addo have his hand in that?
Of course, Kenofo-Addo will have. You think Akufo-Addo will make such an appointment without Kenofo-Addo's input? No, you think Akufo-Addo will make such an appointment knowing the kind of relationship Akufo-Addo had with Kenofo-Addo? And what Amatanodu did?
If I were to ask you directly, that what is the basis for this claim? What would your answer be?
Oh, of course, the relationship between Kisejabin and Kenofo-Addo. He was once a lawyer.
Yeah, but that's
they had relationships already.
Yeah, but that does not mean that.
Gabriel guy. I mean, you see people. Okay, let's leave it. But the point is that
you see, you can't.
No, I can't substantiate it. But I don't like the way you people like pampering issues. Like you play around issues. Say it as it is. You see, that is why we are suffering as a nation.
To get you in trouble when you don't have a basis.
Oh, my friend. Okay, so the point.
So the final question, and you wrap up for me.
Yeah, the point is that
the suspicion by the NPP. Just conclude and wrap up on that.
After the NPP, don't mind them. That they are playing politics with it, but this is a legal issue. And you can't blame the government for it. Individual took the matter to court, and the court, on the basis of the law, has made its judgment. And I think it's only fair to say that it is for us as a nation to sit down and cure this problem once and for all through the Constitution. For me, that is the way forward.
All right.
We should use the Constitution to cure this matter. It is not, we don't have to play emotional games and office somebody must sit in office, take salary without working and all. No, that one wouldn't help. Let's use the Constitution to solve this problem once and for all.
Okay. Austin, 1 minute, you had some points to make.
Quick one. So the fundamental thing is, does the High Court have the power to interpret the Constitution? The answer is no.
No.
Let's have they settle this in our minds. The High Court, in fact, when you read this party, Zaneto, and this party, the court, the laws were clear that it is only where the texts are clear and it is not subject to various disparate interpretation. That is where the High Court can enforce. Their job is to enforce. In fact, when you read Article 130, it makes it clear that subject to the jurisdiction of the High Court to enforce which one? The fundamental human right. So the High Court cannot interpret any constitution. So we should settle this in our minds. Now, the thing is that if the AG agrees with the court, the decision of the court, that the special prosecutor has no prior authorization, which conclusion I disagree. Because I have said that when you look at the memorandum accompanying the bill and even the test itself, it amounts to a statutory authorization. The AG should straight away give them the warrant, like AB said.
I mean, we are told that the other agencies, the right to request.
But it doesn't matter because you see, and Kamal was right. When you look at the public commentaries of the element of the governing National Democratic Congress, they've not been good to the special prosecutor. That is why people will be right in their mind to say that these are clear case of onslaught or needless onslaught on the special prosecutor. I have said, and Joe, you rightly know that I've been one critic of the Attorney General because of certain commentaries. I feel certain commentaries he made in some of the cases he's handling, which I concluded that they were prejudicial. But if you feel the special prosecutor has no prior authorization, grant them. It doesn't matter whether they write to you or not. And the bad blood between them.
It shows the commitment to fight.
The thing is that people are now saying that the government has a duty to protect the special prosecutor, which I agree. So if you feel that the special prosecutor has no prior authorization, give them. It doesn't matter whether they write to you or you write to them. Whoever does it is needless. What matters is that you have given the right to sustain and prosecute those cases.
Exactly.
But to put out that you are taking steps to action the decision of the High Court. What are you putting that? What are you telling Ghanaians?
It could be that they are taking steps to grant authorization.
No. You read it. He said that the High Court has said that they should transfer all the cases to them.
Until such a time that authorization is obtained.
Why would you wait until such a time that authorization? Why won't you give the authorization? I mean, how long does it take to authorize the Attorney General? If you the special prosecutor, if you believe they don't have the right authorization. And so in concluding, I think it's been one too many. The attacks on the special prosecutor has been one too many. And in fact, even though AB said the president stepping at a point, what they did even dealt them a terrible blow. The commentaries, the actions of the members in parliament did not favor them. So if we notice a string of attacks on the special prosecutor, we'll blame you.
Absolutely.
Because
and let me quickly. Okay.
Because you've not been so favorable and you've been badmouthing the special prosecutor. So that is what people will conclude on.
Yeah, I mean, if I ask you to point to them, you know,
badmouthing in what sense? Badmouthing in what sense?
But you see, Joseph, if you ask whether they have been bad-mouthing the special prosecutor, and you said I only point out to the majority leader. Yeah, but that is enough.
Yeah, but even if you point to more,
is that not enough?
More than enough.
No, is that not enough? These are the leaders. These are the leaders in parliament, and
government business come before
the
them.
Minister of Government Business.
And what did they say? What did they say?
These are people who were mooting the idea of presenting the private members bill
to scrap the entire institution.
Yes, but I support that because I've said it. This office is superfluous.
The figurehead pull the brakes quickly.
But that, you see, already the harm has been caused.
Okay.
They are just trying to salvage the leftovers.
That decision that says a multitude of suspicion does not constitute proof. Senior, are you with us here?
Yeah. So every day, and I want to reiterate, every day we go to court, the High Court interprets and applies the Constitution. Every day. I'm sure you now go to court. Sometimes you can be on your feet. You'll be making comments. Then the judge will say, hold on. But look, do you have your Constitution in the council? But what does 88 say? So council, how do you... That's what it means. So don't let us leave here and say that the High Court does not interpret the Constitution. And the judge said it. It is only on some circumstances that he has to leave that matter to the Supreme Court. And if you read the ruling, he has said it. So let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Interpretation.
Let's not do that. But every day he does, the judges do it.
Enforcement.
No, you've made your point. You've made your point. He's also made his point.
Okay, so if you want, I can add. They interpret, they apply, and they enforce the Constitution.
No, they only enforce. They cannot.
Now,
they don't have the power of interpretation.
They have various definitions. Interpretation. Enforcement has definitions.
I think substantively, the two of you are saying the same thing. You're just saying it in different ways.
Now, why? Every day we badmouth the police. Who hasn't said the police take one city? Does that make the government of the day wanting the police institution to be scrapped? See the logic. Who in this country? Under Akufo-Addo, we badmouth the police. Under Atamils, the late Atamils, we badmouth the police. Under Rawlings, we badmouth the police. Is that to say that the government of that day want to scrap the police? Can you imagine? These convoluted arguments sometimes make me...
It's never convoluted.
Institutions are open and are subject to judicial review in court. Administrative bodies, all administrative bodies are subject to judicial review. All the administrative bodies are also subject to criticisms from the public. Indeed, Parliament has power to inquire into the conduct of institutions of state and can go ahead, now that we have private members bill, and individual members can file those bills. Yeah. If this were a government-sponsored bill, then I can eat with you from the same bowl. But on this matter of government involvement, because members of parliament, one from Boku, one from Ketu, the film was from where?
South
Dai means that is government. Means that is government. So on this matter, I will eat with you with a long spoon. You see, I don't think that we should bring government into this matter at all. Because people go to parliament as individuals, but they stand on political party. So sometimes they have their Why? Who doesn't know that? And I said it here on this matter. Mahama Yara could be doing that because Martin Amidu used it against him. That is his thinking. It is his belief. So don't add government into it because he holds a majority leader position. You don't add government into it. And that's why I gave you an example of the police. Fire service, how many times have we to say they are useless, they come when the fire is over? This country.
So when the fire is over. Yes.
Now, the last one
for me. Yes.
He talked about the anti-Nolly protocol. I agree. This Kenneth Attorney General has entered Nolly protocol in favor of, yes, people perceived to be NDC. The converse, the reverse, why is it that it was only NDC people who were also being prosecuted?
So that's why I say, you
see. So we were told in one of the cases, which is what is the man's name, Jakpa, that it is Akufado, it is Ofureta who won the. We heard that video.
Yeah, of course we heard it.
We heard that video.
Audio.
We heard it. We heard it. So, as much as we have the right to ask, why is all your most political in favor of NDC per se people? The converse.
You also have the right.
No, I'm not talking about right. Don't pollute my. The converse is why is it that you were also only prosecuting NDC people? So that's
if NPP people were being prosecuted, maybe you would have entered for them. Yes.
Amalaba succeeded in doing my case for me that Attorney General, as we have it, may be fit for purpose, but the fight against graft or the fight against corruption, okay, cannot be achieved with Attorney General, with the thinking that or the belief we have that they will only prosecute their what is not their own, but will never go to prosecute their own. So if we have an independent institution with that thinking, and then put measures in place to ensure that it appears independent, like the OSP, that would be good for all. That would be good for all of us.
Okay.
So he has cleared the argument. Now, two, he says we are making convoluted arguments. One, we cite the majority leader and his whip attempting to advance a private member bill against the OSP, and then we say government has a hand in it. Why? We are grounded in saying that. Okay. As soon as they appeared as individuals to say we are advancing this, the president made a statement, caused a statement to be issued. Stop it. And they stopped. They did not make the argument that I am Ayerega and I'm doing it. That would have cleared that argument. They listened to the president and withdrew it because they are surrogates of the president. So if I sit outside and I say that elements of the government want to scrap OSP, I am more than right.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
I am more than right. Now, finally, how can the government come to tell us that we are overwhelmed by cases on our table, and we are even contemplating to institute the private legal practitioners or to contract them to help us in prosecuting? And the next moment, the same government says, I want to go and take over all the cases from OSP and bring it. What is the moral behind it? Let's think deeply. Okay. So look, Ghanaians are watching what is happening. I have said we want to fight corruption. Where there are gaps, let's fill in the gaps and move on. As simple as that. The warrant could have just emanated from the Attorney General to say that, okay, we have authorized you to XYZ. It kills the matter.
Okay.
It kills the matter. And if I am OSP, I will not appeal this matter. I will go back to my office and simply write for authorization and then give it to AG and say that, look, I want to prosecute this matter. Let's see if they will refuse or they will not refuse. And we move on again. Yep. This matter will not sit down here and be talking plenty. The NDC is not committed to fighting corruption. That's the case.
About you, the final.
If we were not committed,
we are not committed.
If we were not committed, by now you would have had a number of scandals as against your time.
What happened to all
Please hold on. Yes,
appointees have heeded to the present call not to engage in wrongdoing. How many days during that time? What do we having corruption scandals every other day? What are you talking about? That's why I said your MPP you don't want to agree.
The truth has to be told. MPP did not come to fight corruption.
Who came to fight corruption?
You gave oxygen to corruption.
NDC came to fight corruption.
You. The kind of corruption cases recorded and the MPP unprecedented in the history of this country.
You even have to talk
yes,
about
so don't talk about issue of fighting corruption.
Hey.
You see, my point is that
this NDC man. So,
my point is that. So let's look at the implication. I mean, lawyers here. Let's look at the implication. At least three lawyers here. Let's look at the implication now. So now that it is established that OSP did not have authorization, express authorization to do the things he did. The cases that he has started, what happens to those cases? Are the process going to be void ab initio?
No, they just continue.
Or they will continue?
Attorney General call it and continue.
And continue it. But the one who started it did not have authority. But the one who started
saw what the judge. You saw what the judge. You saw what the judge.
Yeah,
you saw what the judge said about the convictions.
No,
he said the convictions are void.
No, I'm coming.
In the judgment.
I'm coming.
Yes,
the one who started it at the time. OSP. At the time he started it. No.
Yes, not most of them were they reached agreements and so they ended up convicting.
So the point I'm making is that the one who started at the point he started it, at the time he started it, he did not have the authority to do that.
Right.
So what will happen to those cases? I mean, these are legal issues. So
we are done. Yes.
So you know the third issue I had with the judge was his decision is order avoiding all the convictions. Because you see, when you look at the reliefs sought by the gentleman, it has nothing to do with.
I mean, those who
so it was more like punching beyond his limits.
We'll discuss this further. That's what time would allow us this morning. Big issue as always is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. Hold on. Come on. If you are clearing His Excellency. Listen to me. I'm telling you something. I'm telling you. Listen to me. I'm telling him that my salary is here. Hold on for me. Yes. So whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through our dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University Gold Coast gives you options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security, diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, an LLM in international law, security, diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, the pathway is open now. April admission is still underway. You can apply today because at the University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning as well. Flexible entry and flexible payment. You can study around your work and life and choose a route that fits your background and pay in convenient installments as well. Your dream deserves structure. Your future deserves strategy. Your purpose deserves training. You can apply now at www.ugc.edu.gh or you can call or WhatsApp us on 0263 888 University of Gold Coast, building leaders for the nations. My guests this morning have been Kamaldeen Abdullah. He is with the New Patriotic Party, former Consul General to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Ebu Bakman is Deputy Communications Director for the United Party. Austin Braku Powers. Austin Braku Powers is a legal practitioner as well. That is the capacity with which
and the surrogate of
the table as well. And finally, Abraham Maliba is with the National Democratic Congress, Director General, National Road Safety Authority, with the NDC as well, also joining us in the studio. We'll be right back after this quick break. Stay tuned in.
you will be eligible to win the first 1,000, second 1,000, and then 3,000. We move on to the final one, 5,000 Ghana cedis before we say goodbye this morning. So please make sure that you keep playing. Make sure that you keep playing star 439 hash, star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. All right, now that we have that out of the way, Oreku Ampofo is here with the latest in the world of sports. Carlos Queiroz is still not in town?
No.
He's still not in town. Yeah, the brass band, because the Juman is swan kasan.
It's not small.
Yeah, so the day he arrives, we would have to go to the airport to meet him. Fighter jets, everything that is available to us because we mean business for the World Cup. But anyway, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Our first story is still on Gerald Asamoah and that exclusive that he granted OTAJ, head of sports here. What are we talking about specifically this morning?
So it was about an interesting point that he made on, whenever it comes to dual nationals and Ghana's approach towards them, there's always mixed reception from Ghanaians as to whether we should be really going for players who didn't participate in the World Cup. Are they really Ghanaian and all of that? So, Gerard himself, being someone who was eligible to play for Ghana in Germany but chose Germany, has outlined the way that he thinks the GFA can approach them. And he believes that it has to do with approaching them when they are very, very young, not waiting for them to bloom before you start to make enquiries.
Ghanaians do it for it. For example, we have so many good Ghanaian players in Germany. And how do we get these players? Because, for example, having a player like, let me say, John Boateng, he was a young guy. Ghana, everybody, we living in Ghana, we live in Germany, we always look back to Ghana and say, hey, Ghana is trying to be nice. But we need to focus on these young guys. So what is the plan to go there? We have, let me be honest with you, it's just mine what I'm thinking about, to get these players also. These are things we need to do to get these young players, and let me be honest with you, there are so many. The way changing the system, not always doing the same what we are doing. Always staying in Ghana, taking the Ghanaian players what in Ghana, you need to go out. You need to go out because most of the Ghanaians are also living outside. So you need to go out, not sit there and do all this academy. You need to go out and go to Schalke and ask, hey, how many players do we have for Schalke for the youth? How many players do we have Dortmund? You need to talk to this player. You need some scout who go there. Do you know how proud they will be? No, I've decided I'm not playing for Germany anymore. I'm going back to Ghana. These things we need to change because we are waiting to see, Kevin Prince Barton is there, and then we go for him. And he said, no, I don't want to come, or Austin Odoi, or this, or we go for them. No, we don't want, because they didn't see how we Ghanaians fight for them when they were young. The British people did everything for them, and now we are coming, and they are done. They are now good players, and now we want them. So you need to do it, and you need to do this. It doesn't matter. You need to start in the youth, and you need to go there. And the GFA president doesn't need to do it. You need her staff to organize this all things.
Still here on sports. Remember, star 439 hash is the code for you to win big with us this morning. If you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber, star 439 hash. You choose option 2, please. Ladies and gentlemen, do not choose option 8, even though it's a Friday. Please choose option 2. One coupon is 5 Ghana cedis. Play in multiples of 5 as many times as possible to increase your chances of winning. Well, let's move on to the MTN FA Cup. 3 teams are battling it out. Mediama.
Yes.
Who else?
So Mediama would be in action this weekend. Okay. They would face Dreams FC. Okay. And then there would be Diana also facing Nations FC. And so I think it's an interesting semi-final pack for the FA Cup. Usually you have a couple of underdog teams because, like the FA Cup is a chance for the teams in the lower division to sort of square up against the teams in the top flight. But this time around, we're not really going to see an upset because all 4 teams are currently in the Ghana Premier League. But, it kicks off on Friday. Nations face Diana, and then on Saturday, Dreams face Mediama. All the matches will be at the Swedro Sports Stadium, and what the GFA have described as a football festival in Shredo. On Sunday as well, there would be the Women's Premier League final between Hazakis ladies and then there would also be so there'll be that one as well. But before that, there's the FA Cup, and I think it's an interesting clash of teams because Dreams FC, they won the trophy 2 seasons ago, and you know that when you win the FA Cup, you get a chance to play in the qualifiers for the Confederations Cup, and so Dreams used that route. And they went all the way to the semi-finals of the competition. And so it's a good way to get into Africa.
Right.
And that's the biggest incentive for these teams. I think Aduana and Mediama would really be eyeing this and hoping that you're able to seal Africa. For Mediama, they already currently have a foothold on the Premier League title. As things stand, everything is in their own hands. If they win their remaining 5-6 games, they will be crowned Ghana Premier League champions. And they're looking to do the double. But for Aduana, this is their last chance of going to Africa. And so I think it'll be interesting to see how things pan out.
Okay. Keep an eye on it for us. But yes, let's listen to Coach Tanko.
Preparing very well. This is a different competition, MTN FA Cup. Like you said, we are playing semi-final. We want to reach the final. So definitely, we are preparing very well so that we will achieve our aim. Trump Divisa was a really, really good opponent for us, and I don't think we are going to take this one differently. I mean, we are going to prepare like the way we are preparing in our league matches. So definitely, the preparation is going to be a very, very serious one. I think, and I always tell the players that all of them are important to us. All of them can start against any team at any time. So definitely, we are also going to make some changes to give others chance so that they will also be ready for the last 5 games. Oh yes, I always said we are competing in any cup that is available. So we are first in the Premier League. We are playing semi-final in the FA Cup. So definitely we are going to make anything possible to reach the finals.
All right, Coach Tanko of Mediama.
Yeah.
Joseph Akabli says it's not Mediama, it's Mediama because it's in Zima. So Mediama. Yeah, Mediama. All right, we wish them the very best. Now, let's move on to that sad tragedy that occurred a few days ago. But football is sweet, and it really brings unity because I've seen messages from Infantino. I've seen the one from, is it the CAF president, as well? Yeah. It's really gone far and wide, unfortunately. But what's the latest? I'm told that some gang members have been picked up.
Yes, I think the best possible outcome from all of this was that at least Dominic Frimpong, who was shot dead after the Berkum Chelsea bus was attacked last match day after their match against Amatex. I think the best outcome was to at least get some form of justice. And, you know, the Ghana police, through cooperation with the anti-robbery unit, CID headquarters, and then the Ashanti South and Ashanti Region police commanders have arrested 2 suspects in connection with this robbery attack and murder. And I think that the good thing is that one of the suspects is actually the gang leader, Mohammed Ahmed. Now, in a ceasefire between the police and these 2 suspects, Mohammed ended up being shot in his abdomen, but he was later taken to the hospital and he has survived. And so they are going to cooperate with the police to ensure that the remainder of the gang leaders who flee away, I think about 3 of them, would be brought to justice and at least put before the court. And I think that's the least that the family of Dominic Frimpong can have. At least it brings a bit of closure to know that the people who partook in this very, very unwanted crime at least would serve and pay for it.
Yes.
And so that's the justice.
It may not bring him back, but at least it will serve some bit of justice.
Yes.
Yes, to calm their nerves.
Yeah, I think, I mean, kudos to the Ghana police for how swiftly they have reacted. And hopefully, I mean, this serves as a deterrent for...
Hopefully.
In future, that
hopefully.
we don't see this again.
Hopefully. Anyway, let's close with the English Premier League. What's happening? And are there any fixtures for the weekend?
It's actually a very, very big weekend. On Saturday, there's Chelsea versus Manchester United, battle for the Champions League slots, and then there's also Everton versus Liverpool. It's also a derby, Merseyside derby, and then the big one on Sunday sees Arsenal versus Manchester City.
That's on Sunday?
Yes, that one is more like winner takes all.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really, really big weekend in the English Premier League. Remember that after this, we just have like, 4 matches left?
And then
4 or
that's
5
it.
matches, yeah. And so it's really do or die in this period. And also there's a relegation battle as well. Tottenham Hotspur, they're in trouble and need to win against Brighton at home. And so there's a lot to really look forward to. Each game
Brentford,
really means
Fulham, Leeds, Wolves, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Tottenham and Brighton. You've mentioned that. Chelsea and Manchester United. That's on Sunday or Saturday?
That's on Saturday evening.
Okay, and then Aston Villa, Sunderland is on Saturday?
Aston Villa, I think they play on Sunday too.
But Everton and Liverpool is Saturday.
Yes, Everton, Liverpool is Saturday.
And then Nottingham,
Man City, Arsenal
Burnley,
is Sunday, yeah.
And then Manchester City and Arsenal is on Sunday.
Yes.
What time on Sunday?
I think it should be 3:30 Ghana time.
I don't know whose side I'm
UK
going to
time.
be on. Engineer Samuel, I wish that I could be on your side, but I'm also on the side of Manchester City. So Arsenal and Manchester, you both should send your bribes in. The highest bidder will get my support. And then the Crystal Palace, West Ham as well. All right, we'll be on the lookout for all these fixtures, and I'm sure we'll gather again on Monday to talk about it. Oreku, thank you very much. But do remember that this morning, precious, wonderful ones are winning big here with cash out. Now, the first person will win 1,000 Ghana cedis. Second person, another 1,000. Third person wins 3,000, and then the fifth person, the fourth person will take away 5,000. I said fifth because of the 5. So the last person, the fourth and last person, is winning 5,000 Ghana cedis. So, Riku, you want to say something?
I'm happy.
I was coming to that.
Yes, Chief
because
Anderson.
I wish he would be the one to win the 5,000. But Anderson is run away. Oh my goodness.
He has to come.
So from all of us here at TV3 Newday and of course 3 Sports, we want to wish you 5,000 that you've come back. Anderson, you are such a wonderful human being. You are always warm to me, especially. I love you very, very much. You're amazing. You're hardworking. You've been here. Yes, I'm told you went to Germany without telling me because I was saying bring me something small. He didn't tell me. But anyway, happy birthday to you, Anderson. Live long, prosper, be in good health, and make more money in Jesus' mighty name. Somebody say amen. All right. *439# is the code if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Don't make that mistake. You're not choosing option 8. I announced early on that you should choose option 8, but no, that has been corrected. Please choose option 2, the TV3 option. Follow through with the rest of the prompts and be on your way to winning 1,000. The first person, second person also 1,000. Third person, 3,000, and the last person would win 5,000. Coco, I think it's a good time to take a look at the dashboard. Let me give out the first 1,000. Please start playing now if you haven't played already, and if you've played, play as many times more so that you can increase your chances of winning. First winner of 1,000 Ghana cedis this morning is 0244-078. 3 numbers come after that. I'm very happy for you. I am glad that you have won 1,000 Ghana cedis. Keep playing *439#, but please remember, bits, you get to win 1,000. The first person has won already.
Yes.
So we have one more of the 1,000.
Yes.
And then now 3,000 and finally 5,000 for you to win this morning. *439#. You know it. When I promise, I deliver. And I'm back again. It's raining cash here on TV3 Newday. But today, Friday, you're not choosing option 8. You're choosing option 2. And one coupon is costing you 5 Ghana cedis. You are playing as many times as possible. Play 500, play 1,000, play 2,000, because, of course, you can win 5,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
So make sure, don't just play once, because if you play once, I don't think that that will not increase your chance of winning.
Yes.
So play as many times as possible. But Beatrice, did you take it? Did you watch the documentary when it aired on Wednesday?
It was difficult to do so.
On Thursday, actually.
Yes, difficult
it was,
to do
yeah.
so. Yes.
No,
yes.
it was on Wednesday. Yes, I think it was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we are replaying it this morning.
Yes, we are.
Let's all take a look. We'll be right back.
Mata na ka omo. Magache diaglo. Magache dan ha. Magache kwashu. Kada viwa vai puchi ven ka fa mai. Te o dala ko. Anka ka tie ko man bi ko mai na. Ana ka la fine ma wole. Kama ko jipo ma pa ya na tikanya. Ana ka mali.
Just coming through, breaking news right now. Well, Zakujo, this is it. This is the latest.
This is the problem I have with my good friend. Your case now becomes a very, you've heightened your problem, because right now.
On January 8, 2026, a familiar face appeared on Ghanaian television. Franklin Kujo, the founding president of Imani Center for Policy and Education. What followed was a barrage of reactions across social media. Beyond the punchlines, empathy, mockery, and curiosity spread on social media was a hidden narrative. His silent battle with Parkinson's disease.
I got to know about 8 years ago, actually. Because now that I remember that the symptoms started about 2 years earlier, in the 8 years. I remember I was being told that, look, my hands shake sometimes. And I said, well, it happens. When it shakes a bit and it goes away. Then it followed. What followed was my elevated shoulder, the left side. Meetings I attend, people ask me, what's happening to you? I said, okay, well, I don't know. Sometimes it felt like spasms, but then it wasn't really that deep. Then came 2020. So we're just holidays in the UK, and then we're just returning. January 20th, I remember, 2020, just on the verge of COVID. And at the airport, I shook vigorously. I was shaking vigorously, and I just couldn't lift anything. And anyway, we're coming to Ghana anyway. So I said, okay, well, listen, I'll come to Ghana and then check exactly what it is. I saw my GP, Urake, and he said, look, he thinks I need a specialist, a movement disorder specialist, to assess what was happening. So he recommended one, Dr. Chawifeli, interesting lady, very smart lady. And then she diagnosed me, and she said it was Parkinson. And she asked me, so what are you going to do? I said, well, we'll live with it, right? But I saw the second opinion said the same thing, Parkinson's. I saw the third opinion. My friends were like, oh, just second opinion. European doctors had a live scan of my brain. They said, yeah, it is Parkinson's. But they thought it was advanced, so they thought they were thinking of possible surgery. I said no. The final one had to do with an Italian neurologist in the Middle East, Dubai, and an excellent man as well. He also diagnosed same thing, so mine was settled. I mean, that's been the journey. It's not been easy, but it's been manageable.
Parkinson's disease was first medically described as a neurological syndrome by James Parkinson in 1817.
Parkinson's disease is part of what we call neurodegenerative disease, and it is generally, but not always, a disease of the older adult. And it is caused by a gradual degeneration, hence the neurodegeneration of the parts of the brain that are responsible for making a chemical called dopamine. Now, please remember, this is an oversimplification, and insufficient amounts of dopamine leads to what we see clinically, so what you can see when the person has Parkinson's disease. So the tremor, the slowness, the difficulty walking, depression, constipation, a whole slew of symptoms that the individual will experience when they are getting Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is also a progressive condition. So regardless of how we treat the disease, it will over time continue to get worse. So that also means that over time, the medications, the measures that we need to put in place for the individual that has Parkinson's disease will change because the body will be changing over time.
As at the moment, it's not curable. We only do symptomatic treatment. So it is not the best of lifestyle, but if you are on the medication, you see an improvement. So we have people who are 40 years, even at this center, and that have started experiencing the Parkinson's disease. So it first starts with non-motor symptoms, and it's not just the motor symptoms. Non-motor symptoms are the first things you realize, and that your sleeping pattern changes. So you are not getting enough sleep, you start having that. Before even your speech and smell, before you now come to the realization that the motor symptoms are coming over.
There are two types of Parkinson's disease. You have the young onset. With that one, it's mostly genetics. You have a certain genetic variant of a gene, which is a strong cause of Parkinson's disease. And it is so strong a cause that your Parkinson's disease comes out while you are young. So that is one cause of it. There's the other one, which we call complex Parkinson's disease. And that is, the answer is in that terminology. It is complex because it is an interplay of some genetics and some environment. With the environment, you are exposed to something in the environment which interplays with that genetics over time to give you Parkinson's disease by the time you're in your 50s or your 60s. We know some of these environmental risk factors for Parkinson's disease. One is some weed killers. Weed killers, anything that has a chemical called paraquat in it is a risk factor for Parkinson's disease. But guess what? They are all over Ghana. We do interact with our patients. A lot of them say as they are growing older, they can't weed the yard, so they just spray it with the weed killers. Some people have been spraying for decades, and this is a risk factor for Parkinson's disease. So pesticides, some agrochemicals, and heavy metals, galamsey,
Dopamine is like a messenger in your brain. It helps send signals between brain cells telling them what to do. Its roles include helping with walking, writing, among others. In Parkinson's, brain cells that make dopamine start to die off. This means less dopamine around. So one's movements become slow, causing a variety of symptoms, including the tremors. It's like this scenario. A man with Parkinson's disease wants to walk. All of a sudden, his leg cannot move even though he wants to walk. To understand what is happening, think of it as a remote control with a dying battery. When you want to change the channel, you press the button. In a healthy body, the battery, which is dopamine, is full. The signal is strong, the message travels instantly, and the body moves. But in the brain of someone with Parkinson's, that chemical battery is draining. When this man tries to take a step forward, his brain is pressing the go button over and over, but in this case, the signal is too weak to reach the muscles on his legs.
You see what is happening. He's trying to move his leg, but he's struggling to move. That is what we call freezing. And with freezing, mostly we use what we call the auditory cue, which we count, or we use rhythm to facilitate the movement.
He waits and has to refocus his mind for that tiny bit of remaining dopamine to finally power through. When he does, his feet is finally lifted off and he's able to walk.
The management of Parkinson's disease is a multidisciplinary affair. So it requires the involvement of the neurologist, the physician specialist, the general practitioner, sometimes the urologist, the physiotherapist, the psychologist, and sometimes even the gastroenterologist. Our medications don't change the course of the disease. Over time, the disease will still progress. I mentioned now. The thing that we know can slow down worsening and sometimes almost to a point halt the worsening is physical activity.
I'm a physiotherapist and we're looking at his mobility specifically, yes. So when we look at Parkinson's, we have the shaking, which we call the tremor. As I'm holding his hand like this, you can see the fingers shaking. So that is the tremor part of Parkinson's disease. And then also we have what we call the rigidity, which is tightness in the muscles. And with that, if I move his hand like this, okay, so if I do this, you could see it doesn't move smoothly. To deal with this, the tremor hardly responds to medication or even physiotherapy interventions, but there are few activities that one can do. And back, we can step sideways too. Good, and back. All these are ways of helping with balancing.
So I was watching a documentary, then I saw Mother Lee Parkinson. That's what encouraged me that, oh, there's Parkinson's disease, but it doesn't no cure. So the exercise and all the things that I've been doing, that's what I have to continue doing them. Sometimes I will sleep, I don't feel like wee-wee, but the things make me wee-wee. I wake up, I will suffer before, like 30 minutes before I get down. When I go to the toilet, sorry to say that, the wee-wee doesn't come. My wife will say, boy, I will sleep again. My eyes will open on it. Like 30 minutes again, the brain system will tell me, wee-wee, have to wait. Because they communicate together. So that's when I'm working with the student, I feel like falling down, so I have to break. I can't work fast without feeling the hands. But Parkinson is not good. My children, they are girls, 1 boy, 2 girls. They come to me and say, Daddy, I'll pray for you so that you work well. Sometimes I don't have to fall down. They run, they won't hold you. So that you don't fall down.
From the corridors of the Vatican, Pope John Paul II, whose papacy lasted 27 years, died on April 2, 2005 after battling Parkinson's disease. Boxing greatest Muhammad Ali, he died at the age of 74 After over 30 years battling the disease, he was diagnosed in 1984 at the age of 42.
When they saw me in my hometown, they eventually went to my dad and said, hey, we can't allow this, so please, we know a spiritualist in Tafia Gome. Now I'm from the Lobi Kumasi, by the way, what's region? Tafia Gome, please, let's take him there. Somebody, you'll be surprised. They were educated friends of mine. But this one, they said to somebody doing me, which could be believed, but at a point I said, no. I believe in the universality of spirits and all of that, but hey, let's still manage it because I think God has given us the brain to also manage it and see how it works. If one day someone comes and says, we were healed spiritually, well, we'll give thanks to God.
Mr. Kujo Afotba, who is in his 80s, also has Parkinson's disease.
In the night, I wake up after urinating. I feel I'm shit. I used to shit. So I thought it was normal. My son, Yao, who came and I told him, this is what is happening. It might be Parkinson. Yao brought Enoch to me. He came and examined me and realized it was Parkinson. So I was included in the group. A doctor who had been coming from Tema told me I am the 45th one patient. So that's how it started. I used to ride bicycle, and now I cannot ride bicycle. I used to jog, and now I cannot.
I never thought that a day would come and then my dad will be diagnosed of such. But I took it normal. He doesn't go out, he doesn't associate with people, he doesn't even jog like he used to. Hope is to see him well, more stronger than this.
He's had to close down his chemist shop as a result of the disease and its financial burden. 23 years ago, Jervis Jokutu was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
I went to the hospital once and I was told that I had spondylosis. I used to have severe pain in the shoulder, in the arm. I couldn't lift the arm. And it was very painful. The doctor gave me a medication, a steroid injection in that arm, and the pain left. But a couple of months, I'll say, later, my hand started showing some tremors. Yes, and then I saw the orthopedic surgeon again, and he referred me to see the neurology. When I went to see the neurologist, they told me that I had a damaged nerve in the arm caused by the injection that I was given, and nerves take quite a long time to heal, so I should give it time, and that it was going to heal, but it kept increasing, and then it took about more than 3 years for me to be finally diagnosed in 2003 as having Parkinson's disease. I wanted a confirmation, so somewhere along the line I had to travel outside. I went to the US, and there I was also given a thorough examination, and it confirmed that I had Parkinson's disease.
So when you were told you had Parkinson's disease, what was the first thing that ran through your mind?
I'll tell you, it's Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. I had few questions to ask, but it's all part of growing in the faith. This is the same scripture which talks about God blessing you and giving you the best of experience in life. The same scripture will tell you that many are the afflictions of the righteous. You see, if the affliction doesn't come, how do you know that God can deliver?
He formed a support group to persons diagnosed with the disease to connect, lean on each other, and learn more about the disease. His wife, Betty, has been supportive throughout the journey.
When the doctors diagnosed it, I said, forget it. It's not that. I'm here and it was your hand. It wasn't shaking. You said there was pain. I argued a lot when they first said it was Parkinson because I said no. So when it started with the right hand. And I said, half of my married life, he has to deal with this. But before, I mean, my daughter is looking for somebody like Daddy, you know, fantastic man, very active, very, very helpful. But now, you see, so that's the emotional aspect of it. It's like, where is the husband I married? Yes. But it has a good side to our relationship because for me, really, it's made me understand when God tells us that my grace is sufficient for you. It has a social impact. I can't go to places with it, and I know he would want to go. So I try not to make him feel that I feel it. I try. It has really given me a lot of resilience and some fortitude of character. Because you don't have to go and add, already he's feeling it, okay, but socially, his musical concerts and all, he can't go, he only has to, satisfy himself with what he sees on the television.
Were there times when you broke down?
Oh, yes. I mean, secretly, yes. Yeah, I mean, I told myself, don't go and add to it. They are prone to depression. I'm retired and I'm still working because I have to. Because it brings about huge financial challenges.
From Accra to Zogakope is a center of hope for Parkinson's disease in Ghana, located within the Richard Novarty Catholic Hospital. The center is part of Transforming Parkinson's Disease in Africa, TRAPCAF, with centers in Kolebu, Kumasi, Nigeria, Kenya, and Tanzania. The center is heavily involved in prevalent study of the disease, genetic study, clinical care, free treatment of Parkinson's disease, monthly support group for Parkinson's disease, and clinical trial.
So we have different types of samples in there. It's extremely cold in there. Yeah. And then we have others. This is something we've been collecting samples for 4 years now. Yeah. And then we have other specimens also here. And all this is to try and make sure we represent Africans when medicines are being designed. Otherwise, the medicines will be designed and they won't work for us. We realize that the causes or the genetics of Parkinson's disease in Ghanaians was different from the genetics of Parkinson's disease in Europeans, because we looked for what they had, we didn't have it. So as far back as 2013, we knew that we had to do more work to find out what causes Parkinson's disease in Africans. We could not copy and paste. Then secondly, another research project we undertook here is that some of the medications for Parkinson's disease were thought to have certain side effects. We have this side effect called dyskinesia, abnormal movements. And it was thought before that this side effect is caused by long-term use of Parkinson's medicines. But in this center, we were able to find people who have had Parkinson's for a long time. But because of lack of access to the medicines, they didn't start treatments. So these are people who had Parkinson's disease for 3 years, 10 years, sometimes even more, and they had never had treatment. But guess what? When they were given the medicine for the first time, they had the side effects. So from the work we did in this center, we were able to publish an article in the Oxford Journal of Neurology, Brain, to show that the side effects are not caused by long-term medication intake. This was a very important paper. It shook the neurology world. We finally have data about the prevalence of Parkinson's disease in Ghana. Out of 31,000 adults, we found 26 cases. That gives us a prevalence rate of 80 per 100,000. And if you multiply that to the whole of Ghana, we're looking at anywhere between 16 and 22,000 people who are living with Parkinson's disease now. But this number can increase by 2040, looking at population growth, to between 22,000 and possibly over 30,000 people.
Levodopa is one of the effective drugs used for the management of Parkinson's disease movement symptoms. But some persons with the disease have concerns, especially with regards to affordability and other drugs used to manage Parkinson's disease.
Some people go to hospital, they are given their prescriptions, and they avoid, they see the pharmacy sign, and they take the other direction because they will get there and they can't afford.
I remember telling President Mahama, by the way, that look, I think it's Mahama Cares thing should take care of chronic disease, because not just taking care of it, but to see if we can allocate some funds to research into these things. Because we could actually, we never know. I mean, now there's AI, it could be enhanced. I certainly believe some people will come up with medication strongly in the next couple of years. God forbid. I mean, this crazy war, as it continues, and then maybe all places are shut. What would you do? Which is why we need to start investing in our local staff.
I must admit that not all the medications are on the National Health Insurance, and so there's that conversation, how we can put more of these medications on the National Health Insurance scheme. But whilst we are looking at how we can put these medications on it, we should also be mindful of the fact that it could be sustainable and it will also not collapse the National Health Insurance, because I'm reliably informed that these medications are quite expensive.
But a velvet bean grown locally in Ghana could be a potential game changer for the management of the disease.
We found that something in Ghana, our local herb, the Akans call it apia, it's something that causes a lot of itching, but it grows wildly. That 7% of that bean is levodopa, which is the chemical or the medication used in Parkinson's disease. And we will be trying to study in the future whether this medication is safe and can be used long-term for Parkinson's disease. We will be going to the Food and Drugs Administration and then seeking the necessary permissions to do this research work in the coming year. The medicines are not available, and when they are available, they are expensive. So if we have something that grows naturally in Ghana, we know already that it is effective, but we need to study the safety.
Some patients are facing another powerful symptom of Parkinson's, which is stigma.
I was on TV and people were worried because I saw people making comments here and there, and I saw it was progressive. Sometimes it was anxiety, sit behind TV and then feel anxious. But then, so when people saw it, so okay, people initially thought, because we operate in this political space, some people like you, others just don't like you, which is the nature of the world in which we are. So some of the guys on the other side were like, why is he shaking his head? Is he autistic? Is it this? All kinds of disparaging comments. But of course, I accepted to live with it. The reactions came. I realized later that when people got to know all those elements that were saying negative things, they called back. Some of them apologized. Others just dissipated, and then that was it.
Indeed, Being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease is not the end, but a new navigation in life. Beyond the tremors, slowness of movement, rigidity, and all the symptoms associated with the disease, is a human being fighting a battle with an incurable disease. A human being worth more than a diagnosis. A human being yearning to move forward.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. You know, we've come this far. And you've been doing so well. Continue to do so. All that you know will help you. Okay. So,
thank you very much.
Yes.
And I also want to let you know that you've been fantastic in the care that you've given to me. I appreciate it very much. And God bless you.
Sure.
That's very beautiful and very touching at the same time. You know, we always say that when you wake up in the morning and you realize that you can move about freely, you can smile, you can laugh, you can lay down, you can get up, you can move. That alone in itself is a huge blessing. And most of the time you realize that we take a lot of things for granted, and it shouldn't be the case. So when you wake up in the morning and you're 100%, don't forget to give God thanks. I remember the morning after that interview, when we saw him the first time, social media was awash with a lot of criticism for the gentleman. Some said, and I'm sorry to remind all of us, is he gay? What's wrong with him? Why are his gestures like that? And all of that. And then to only realize that he was actually suffering from Parkinson's. And now we've realized that many other people are also suffering.
There are a lot more people who have Parkinson's actually. A lot of them actually have not been diagnosed. And the doctors will tell you that growing up, and if you look at the symptoms closely and you recall correctly, you see that we all in one way or the other knew someone who was exhibiting those kind of symptoms. But back then, we thought it was just old age or something. And I was telling Portia that the thing about Parkinson is that it's a neurodegenerative disease. So it just worsens. So you are not going to get better. Gradually, the nerve cells will be breaking down. They'll be breaking down. And so the medication simply slows it down. It slows the rate at which it's breaking down, and you getting worse. And growing up, I mean, I studied psychology in school. The producers are saying, Dr. Blake, I studied psychology. I have a degree in psychology, and we did biological psychology. So we do how the central nervous system operates, how the neurotransmitters work. We did all of this. We did all of this. So yes, we did. I did all of this. So
it's a good combination with law, by the way.
I know, right? So that's why I know about all of these things. So I was making a point where that's the problem. And when they were teaching us, at that time in school, the only patient, the popular patient that we all knew was Muhammad Ali. I mean, he was basically the one that we all knew. He had Parkinson. But gradually, we realized that it's all over the place. And these are the things that, and it was nice to hear from the health minister talk about what the health insurance should be able to do. I personally believe that these are the kind of conditions that the health insurance ideally should be dealing with, because these are not things that Mr. Kujo said he was spending. If he could do the conversion, it was in the thousands.
I saw it on his Facebook page.
I mean, weekly. This is not a condition that if the ordinary Joe, you're not lucky and you have it, you can't fund it. So you will just be gradually fading quickly, and it will only get worse. And that's where we should get to. And I think Portia did a fantastic job putting this together.
Portia Gabo, congratulations
and
to you.
You know, Cookie, the point you made earlier about when you wake up in the morning, I always say that Joseph and I were speaking about that a few times. He seems to have like one of the best ways of expressing this, because we take a lot of things for granted. And the points he made about growing up, you might have seen, when he was talking, I was just remembering all the people I met. Sometimes, like he said, you see them old, you think maybe they've had partial strokes sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
That's basically what you think.
In fact, when we discussed in the newsroom, it's a stroke that someone also mentioned. You always think it's
all
stroke.
the time. I thought these people had stroke and all of that. So it's great education, but again, like I was saying,
but I think back in the day too, it was lack of education that most of us experienced. Because I remember when we were very young, you know, people with Down syndrome. We tend to laugh at them in school, and then in the community, you see them coming, and sometimes they are drooling, and kids are hiding in the corners and laughing. It's because we did not know. And it's because we didn't know that these people were special need humans who needed a lot more affection and a lot more love. But because of lack of education in those days, we just didn't know what to do. But I think these days it's getting better. That's why documentaries of such a nature are very important. And we'll replay and replay so that as many people as possible can get the education. And I would always say one thing. My friends would say the emotional cookie. It's not about being emotional. It's about being human. Sometimes you never know what somebody is going through until you take your time to get to understand and know them. And we are very quick to judge. You know, somebody is behaving in a certain way, or somebody is maybe snapping at you left, right, center.
Sometimes people may not even show any sign at all. But you wouldn't know what people are facing or dealing with. So
anyway,
really, yes.
Congratulations one more time to Portia. But we do hope that our friends and family and loved ones who are going through it would finally.
I think we are sending all of them now this morning.
Yes.
We know it's a very difficult situation, and we can wish them the very best.
All of you. Coco, let's take a look at the dashboard. I promised you that you get to win 1,000, 1,000, 3,000,
so
and 5,000.
So this one is winning how much?
The second one, this is also winning 1,000. Okay, so 0546 409, 3 numbers come after that. I'm happy for you. You just won 1,000 Ghana cedis. I'm sure the alert has come through your phone, through your Momo wallet. You can check and confirm with us. Coco, before we move on to birthdays, let me do the 3,000 and then we'll do the 5,000. This one is big. This one is huge. Woo! Let's see who wins 3,000 Ghana cedis this morning. And that will be, Coco, bring the dashboard. The dashboard. I want to see the dashboard. The dashboard.
I'm seeing Blaze number.
Blaze. Wow. Okay. 0550037. 3 numbers come after that. Congratulations to you. You just won 3,000 Ghana cedis. If you haven't played, this is your time to play. If you haven't played, this is your time to play. Play now, just before I announce the last 5,000. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Let's get into birthdays now, so when we come back, we can do the last one. All right. Okay, Nana. This one is the biggest one today. Nana Kweku Anderson.
And he gave us a picture. Which airport is that?
Where Germany, Nana.
Boga.
All right, happy birthday to you, Nana Kweku Anderson. We love you. You can tell from here in the studio that we love you very much. Happy birthday, darling. And Madame Martha T, from your children and your siblings as well. Cornelius Lamte, God richly bless you. Mrs. Mary Afo, happy birthday, ma'am. You look beautiful in the kente. And your name, Permani, happy birthday.
Permani. I think she works with O'Neill.
She works with O'Neill.
Oh, I love the dress. Can you see it?
So Preman, he doesn't have English, so it's Preman. That's what.
That's what.
No, I think if you have English, may have negative
no, it will not reflect it. Preman is Preman.
Jacqueline Padite.
Oh wow!
Right. Happy birthday. It's from
JPP.
Papo. Okay. Yankwe Felix Bano. Happy birthday from your wife and the kids. Midwife Vivian JC Owusu, happy birthday to you, darling. God's will, Elom Kujoji, happy birthday. Bridget Dogbe, God bless you. Elikem Kwame Dewanu FA and now let's move on to also celebrate Enyovi Adoboy, right?
Yes.
Adoboy. Happy birthday. Mabel Efe Kumsen, it's from Martin of DKT International. Renee Nanaya Kufo, happy birthday to you as well. Abigail Equia Sabia, senior midwife, is from William Answer. Okay. Mrs. Patience Azuini Bokwe, happy birthday, darling, is from Miss Biggles. And Nam Agoli, I love your laughter. It's not a smile, it's a laughter.
Yeah.
May it forever stay on your face and in your heart. Esther Ohima Yabua of Zebrema Health Center, happy birthdays from Dani. Chief Inspector Alice Lawson of Cyber Vetting and Enforcement Team is from your loved ones. Mrs. Regina Abuna Chum Berima, happy birthdays from all the church members. Rita Pare, level 400 UCC, happy birthday to you. Dr. Daniel Tenge of Meridian Clinic, happy birthday to you. Pastor Doji Donko, all right. Also moving on to celebrate Baby Wisdom, okay. And Doctor in the Making, happy birthday. Okay, we've done this one already. William Kwame Ajoma of Adidome, Efoga, Efoye now. All right, shall we continue, guys? Continue for me.
Dorcas, that's what you just mentioned?
No, I haven't done this one.
Beautiful young lady. Francis Ako, God bless you. Happy birthday to you, sir. Ebenezer Padina, happy birthday. Caroline, happy birthday to you. Anastasia Kwam, happy birthday to you, ma'am. Mrs. Peggy Kakari Enyeje. Mrs. Gadi Esther. Daniel Yao Henson. Benedicta Yayra Segbefia. Mr. Alex Ansakomi, happy birthday to you, sir. Dr. Kwesi Jr., happy birthday to you. Osman Maida, happy birthday to you, ma'am. Your love, strength, and sacrifices mean everything to me. I love you always. Mom from Christabel Success. Oh, Christabel Trevor. That's the mom. Happy birthday to you. Tracy Fosia Okutu, happy birthday to you. Frederica Evelyn Henson, happy birthday to you, ma'am.
I thought you'd have requested a song for us to go home with, but yeah, we'll manage.
I mostly do that if I get a chance to go to the
back.
Room.
So that's when you do the selection.
DJ
Blake. Go there.
Oh, I greased their palms.
Okay, I still haven't forgotten that he refused to dance before we went
he
on
said
that
he's
break.
a lawyer.
He just did.
No, he said he's a lawyer. I was not a lawyer.
Oh,
you didn't do any
kakalika. You didn't do anything.
It's okay. But the response you gave us,
you know that when we went for before you came in, when we went for the break, when the document was played, my mom called. I picked up and said, "Hey, kakalika."
Okay, we
Look
get it. No, it's okay. You are a lawyer, so lawyers don't dance.
But you know what kakalika is?
Like
you know which animal is kakalika?
It's cockroach. Yeah, cockroach. Kakalika is cockroach. Anyway, I think it's done and dusted here. Thank you for sticking and staying with us. I'm told we are encountering an issue with the dashboard. So the last person, can we send it to the person? Because in my ears, I think we're having issues with that. But anyway, we'll send it to you, the last person of 5,000 Ghana cedis. Guys, enjoy an amazing weekend.
Thank you.
We'll be back again on Monday. Win all your cases and bring me some of the money, please.
Thank you for the wonderful things as always.
Always.
Bye-bye.
Oh.